What up, guys? We are live. Continuing our cryptocurrency secret gamers introductory course in the mix. You guys ready for this? We're continuing with mega crypto polls. That's right.
In order to play Mega Cryptopolis, you are required to have the MetaMask extension installed in your browser. This will allow you to log in and keep your game assets securely in the Ethereum blockchain. If you already have it, just unlock it and start the game. If not, installation will take you just a minute. Please follow instructions on the official MetaMask website. Set a strong password that is required to unlock your wallet. This will create you a new wallet on the Ethereum blockchain. 12 words allow you to restore the access in case of password loss, or if you wish to use your wallet on another computer later. Please keep them in a secure place. They grant full access to all your digital assets stored on your wallet. After your wallet is created, enter your email address and sign the terms and conditions using MetaMask wallet in Mega Cryptopolis. Press launch to start the game. Playing Mega Cryptopolis requires some Ether in your wallet. You can transfer it from another wallet or get an exchange. Choose your block of land on the decentralized city map and press the Buy button to sign the transaction on the Ethereum blockchain. The transaction needs some time to be included in the block. For that period of time, all the blocks that are influenced by your one will be marked as pending, so no one can buy them until your transaction is minted in the blockchain and all neighboring blocks' prices will rise. Congratulations! This is your piece of land on the decentralized Crypto Megapolis map. Explore the huge city map with so many rivers, lakes, islands, parks, and resources. Discover new districts that are the older and larger siblings of the blocks featured on the game map. Some of them may be available for sale. Being a district owner grants you revenue share from all the players' activities within its blocks. Initially, all the districts are sold on auction. Make your bid, and if no one beats it within the next few days, the district is yours. Please use it like this.
Will be constantly changing, and there will be unlimited possibilities in the world of one game. Well, to make it short, so right now we are working very hard, to deliver the product. The first version of this, our product will be in the form of a sandbox game, and the test version will come out between July and August. And right now we are doing token sale. That's why I am here. Okay, let me also talk about my team. So I had mentioned that we are based in New York. So before we were doing this project, the company's name was Mukuni LLC. Basically, Mukuni Studio or Mukuni Games is a New York-based game studio. We had been developing video games for multiple years, and our previous projects were featured in Google App Store, Apple App Store, multiple times, and we had accumulated more than 10 million downloads in our earlier products. So one game is our newest project, and it's very exciting that we are for the first time we are going to build a blockchain-based game. So I mean, yeah, I wish that in say 5 years, 3 years, we can use one game as as a product to change the world. That's my goal.
Very interesting. So you said that there will be gamers, there will be content creators, and this project seems very, very complicated even without blockchain. So how many people do you have working on this, and what is it, like a 2D? Is it a 3D? Is it virtual reality? What kind of interface do we have to this game?
Sure. So if you check our website, we have a very early stage demo ready. But basically, you were right. This project is complicated, even without blockchain. You can think it of as something like Second Life or Minecraft, but we added the blockchain feature. Right now we have 8 people team. We have eight core team members, and we also have some part-time team members. So luckily, our team is our team is an army of experienced game developers and software engineers. So we had experience building games. Yeah, but still, this project is complicated. It needs a lot of hard work to deliver the product.
And what kind of experiences can people have in the game when it is released, as you say, in version 1? What can you do there? Can you, what is it quest? Is it just hanging around in a sandbox? Is it any specific goal, or is it just a world where you kind of decide what you do yourself?
Sorry. So you were asking about what will be the players' experience in one game? Is that your
what
question?
will the players doing? Do they do quests, or do they just go around and just hang out in the game, or do they have some kind of mission in the game? What is the actual? Why would people play it? Is basically my question.
Yeah. Why would people play it? Sure. So basically, in one game, you enjoy from creating the world. Basically, when you come to one game, if you want to create some content, you can buy a land from a one world world center. After buying this land, it's owned by you. You can find some virtual properties from the asset store and buy some asset or get some free asset and deploy them onto your land. You can build your city or build your virtual thing using our game developers tools. But if you don't want to create any content, you can just browsing our word center, you will see virtual worlds created by other players, and you can play their games. And what's more, we also allow community-based collaboration between different players. So basically, I can buy a land, and you can buy a land, and we can combine our land into a bigger one, and we can collaborate to create for example, a city, together. So this way, everyone.
Let's see, is Pooh gone? I think we have some connection trouble in the live stream. Let's see if we can get Pooh back on the line. But basically, this is guys. If you haven't, go ahead and watch Ready Player One, the movie. So this kind of reminds me of that people have their own kind of. Let's see. Is Pooh back on the line? Yeah, sorry guys, some connection issues. Let me call him. Let me call him back. This is what happens when you do live television, by the way. There
Hello.
are errors.
Sorry, I disconnected.
Yeah. Pooh, what is going on? Are you back? Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Your camera is not on. Let's see, where is the camera?
My camera is not on.
No. Yeah, guys, this is what happens when you do live television. Let's see. Come on, camera.
Am I back?
Camera. Yeah, you're back, but the camera. Yeah, camera's back. Okay, wonderful. So we basically summarized the bit. So it is like, Ready Player One, but it's not VR, correct? It is on a computer screen, or is it virtual reality?
The very first version, we want to do it on computer screen, but in the future, we will adapt to VR devices.
Yeah. Interesting. And so it is. People mentioned Decentraland in the comments. Is it something that you are familiar with? Is this your competitor? What kind of other competitors do you have in this space currently?
Yeah, sure. So basically, our project was inspired by Decentraland, but we believe there are many ways we can improve on what Decentraland had done. So other competitors, non-blockchain based products, including, of course, Second Life, including Minecraft, including Roblox. I would say those products are similar to what you want to do, but because game industry or game market is is very large. I don't believe we are really competing with each other. I think the only problem we need to solve is make the product solid and let players like our product. So we don't consider anyone as our competitor. But as I said, I mentioned Decentraland. So we are better than we want to be better than Decentraland in many different ways. So first of all, I think in our system we have an incentive program. Basically, Decentraland doesn't give you any incentive to create virtual content. Basically, what Decentraland is doing is allowing you to trade digital assets and trade land. But I mean, you need to spend a lot of money buying land, and after that you need to spending tokens to build your virtual content, but you don't really get any reward unless you want to sell the land. But in one game, yeah, we are different. Basically, we have an incentive program. We have 30% of our tokens reserved to the content creators and players. Yeah, basically, it's built in the mechanism, in our token mechanism. And besides that, we also has decentralized governance. Basically, you as a player or you as a content creator are the owners of this platform. So Decentraland doesn't really specify how do they manage the platform, or how do they manage the community. Yeah, but in our white paper, it's very clear. It's a decentralized governance. And besides this, finally, I had mentioned that our product has a feature that we allow the platform to self-involve. Yeah, basically we had borrowed this idea from the game Crypto Kitties. Yeah, you remember
Yeah,
that game?
of course.
Yeah. So basically, we all the components, all the characters, we divide them into molecularized, pieces, and every piece or every component, we represent them with DNA genes, and we applied the theory of genetic selection, the genetic combination, to combine human input and the randomness of the mathematics in order to let the different components involve in our game. This feature is actually very important, yeah, because I mean, to build a virtual world like what you had seen in the movie Ready Player One, I mean, you cannot only rely on human input, yeah, because I mean, no matter how many developers you have, no matter how creative I mean those human content creators are, but there are always limitations. Only if we can combine human input and mathematical randomness, it is possible that you have a world that is complicated enough that can be more wonderful than your real world.
Mm-hmm. And so why don't we currently see such games just without blockchain? Because obviously by adding blockchain it's much harder to achieve this. Is it because of there is no incentive structure, or why do you think people haven't yet created these worlds, except maybe Minecraft? But I think your idea is a bit more complicated than Minecraft. Would that be correct? And why do you think we haven't seen such games flourish on the in the traditional space, centralized and without any blockchain?
Yeah, because I think you mentioned Minecraft, right? So Minecraft, just like Decentraland, they don't have incentive program. Basically, if you want to play Minecraft, you can build for example, a mansion on your land, but you don't really get any reward from it. Basically, you build stuff purely for fun, or purely to get people's people's likes. But in one game, we believe token or money is the best power to attract talents. Basically, people will put more time into the game if they get rewarded. Yeah, that's the first thing. Secondly, I think we really want to focus on the map editor or the game editor. So I think Minecraft is I think to build stuff you basically use blocks, and you build them 1 pixel by 1 pixel. So but with one game, we want the game developers tools or the map editor to be really easy to use. So we want anyone without any experience programming, without any programming experience, to be able to build beautiful and complicated stuff. So that's why at this stage, the most of our development work focus on the game developers tools. So our project timeline is like this. Basically, in the next few months, we want to focus on the game developers tools to make it really handy, to make it really useful for professional game developers or non developers. And in the second stage, we will focus on the on blockchain. So we want to make one game really decentralized, self-governed, and self-involving virtual world. And after we finish the first stage and the second stage, we will of course, in the meantime, we will need to attract enough developers to join us to build the virtual content together. In the early stage to make sure in our platform there are enough good content yeah, but after all of this, we will then focus on the artificial intelligence or focus on the genetic algorithm to make our platform has a higher potential. So the whole project, I think it's a big one. It's a big project. It will take us, I think years of hard work. Yeah, but I think if we only focus on the game developers tools in the first stage, I mean, what I had described is not that far away. So basically, our goal is that between July and August, we want to release the test product. With the test product, you will get our game developers tools. You will be able to build some simple game by yourself, and you can play some other games created by other players in using one game, the developers tools. But yeah, in the next few months, we will continue to make our more handy and adding the
And so, what kind of technology are you using for blockchain? Is it Ethereum? Do you think about moving to EOS maybe because of scalability? Because obviously, if you have a huge world with players trading houses and items, and then you have incentives and they should get paid, how are you solving the scalability issues? Is it a problem for you? Which blockchain are you using?
Sure. So basically, right now, because we are going to build our project on top of deep brain chain. So DBC, their mainnet is not ready yet. They haven't launched their mainnet yet, but they plan to launch their mainnet before August. So that's also a time we want to launch our test product. The reason we build on DBC, first of all, they are our investor. Basically, they invest into us and provided us funding. So we are working closely with their engineering team to make sure that our product really use the features of deep brain chain. And secondly, the reason we use deep brain chain is that besides blockchain, they also has a computing platform. So the DBC or the deep brain chain technology really has two layers. First of all, they have a blockchain layer. Just like Ethereum, but slightly faster than Ethereum. So on that, you can build smart contracts. You can build your tokenized ecosystem. But besides that, they also have a computing layer. So basically, it is just something like AWS EC2, but it's managed by blockchain. So miners from the world provide their, computing resources or storage resources on the DBC platform, and DBC then provides those computing resources to app developers, the app developers like me. So basically, my product, one game, basically we architected it into two layers: the blockchain layer and non-blockchain layer. On the blockchain layer, we build our tokenized economy. We build the incentive program. We build the simulated mining process. But on the non-blockchain layer, that's where we deploy most of our game logic. So basically, in the computing layer, we will allow not only low latency, but real-time, communication among, players.
Interesting. And what kind of challenges do you have? I mean, obviously the technology is a huge challenge, and when you say 1 year, I mean, it might very well be the case that you achieve this in 1 year, but I myself as a software developer, it seems just, this enormous project that it might require more than a year for 8 people, but who knows, maybe you're able to achieve that. What kind of other challenges do you have except the technical challenges? Legal challenges maybe because of ICO. You said you are in China. Do you have a government going after you for doing the ICO? So what kind of challenges do we have except the technological challenge, of course?
Sure. So first of all, our team is based in United States, and we registered our project in Singapore. So right now, yeah, I'm traveling in China. Yeah, first of all, because I'm Chinese citizen, but I live in United States. And right now I'm in China doing a roadshow to meet more investors. That's why I'm in China now. But I think that, yeah, of course, there are a lot of challenges. Besides the engineering challenge, I think one challenge is, of course, the funding challenge. Right now, we are doing the ICO, but we just started, so we don't know whether we are able to raise enough funding. So yeah, but with our current, current funding, we are able to at least finish a test product and deliver it on time between July and August. And besides engineering challenge and the financial challenge, you had mentioned legal challenge. I mean, yeah, because it's a tokenized ecosystem, and it's also a game. So ideally, we want anyone from the world to be able to get access to our product, to be able to play our game. But I mean, it really depends on how do we resolve the issues related to the law. So right now we are working with an attorney based in Singapore to help us, resolve this kind of issues. And besides all of this, of course, good marketing is a key for game product. I think, I mean, to solve this problem, first of all, I think our game studio, our company, is a mature company. We had built other products before, and we had a very good relationship with all the major app stores. So a lot of our earlier work was featured in different app stores. And besides that, we have some existing products, existing games, which still has a lot, active users. So after we have finished the earlier version of one game, we are able to put a banner of the new product in our existing product and get some traffic for one game. And of course, besides that, we also need to work with game distributors to let more people know about our game. And I think doing ICO and get our token listed in exchanges, of course, also help our project get more exposure.
So, Pooh, we have discussed different aspects of your project. We've discussed a lot, the team, the idea, the challenges, also the kind of legal challenges that might arise. Is it anything else that you want us to discuss that we haven't? Have we forgotten anything? Do you want to bring up anything else? Do you think something else is important to talk about before we wrap this interview up?
Sure. What's more important? I don't have anything in my mind. Yeah, do you have any?
I saw a question in the comments. Yeah. So how can people be part of this? How can people participate in maybe building this? Help you guys? Do you have a community online? And how can people join you?
Oh, sure. So if he is talking about investment, I think he can join our Telegram group and chat with some of our admins to discuss about the detail of our private pre-sale. But if he's talking about engineering or game development, I think we are going to open source our very early code, I think in a month. So, and he can also go to our website and read our technical documentation. So even though right now those documentation are not very well, yeah, but we are continue to make it more, complete. And after that, of course, after our SDK and our test version is released, he can play with it and he can build stuff on top of our, virtual world. I think, in the early stage, yeah, I think getting support from or getting or collaborate with more developers will be a focus of our team.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you very much for your participation, your time. Thank you so much for coming onto the show and explaining your project. And I also want to thank everyone who has watched us live. Thank you so much, guys. And we always enjoy your participation as well. So that being said, I'll see you all very, very soon. And Pooh, thank you so much for participation. I wish you a very good day and goodbye to you as well.
Oh, thank you very much. So everyone, remember to check out our website and join our Telegram groups. You will see more updates from us. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Hello world, it's Siraj and CryptoKitties. Have you played it yet? It's this blockchain-based game that's gone viral. It sparked a global craze for collecting cartoon cats. We're going to cover how it works programmatically in this video. There's even a Chinese language mobile app which was just released, bringing the game to large parts of East Asia. Looks like the Great Firewall is not so great, huh? CryptoKitties is built on the Ethereum blockchain. At one point, it accounted for 1/3 of all transactions on the Ethereum network, which is insane. If and when the Chinese market for the game grows, it's not certain that the Ethereum network could handle that many users, but both the Ethereum and CryptoKitties team are working out issues of scalability currently. CryptoKitties are collective cats, like Pokemon or Beanie Babies, but unlike those collectibles, these cats breed. They can create offspring with unique DNA preserved in the blockchain. Over 500k kitties have been sold so far, and there are about 250k players with transactions surpassing $40 million. The rarest CryptoKitties have sold over north of 100k, and some are worth over 300k. The CryptoKitties code is open source. It's about 2,000 lines of code. The smart contract language of Ethereum, Solidity. Remember, this is all code that lives on the blockchain, so every node in the Ethereum network stores a copy of it. It's a lot of code, but we can go over the most important parts to try and understand how it works. So the way the game works is that it's a way for players to buy, sell, and breed digital cats. Every cat has its own unique appearance that's defined by its DNA. When a player breeds 2 cats, their genes combine in a unique way, and this produces an offspring, which a player can then breed again or sell. Cleverly, the code for CryptoKitties is split into several smart contracts, so it's not one giant, messy file with all the code in it. We'll see that there exists a subcontract called inheritance in the main CryptoKitty contract with a listing of all the contracts. Kitty Core is the main contract address that the app points to, and we can see that it inherits all the data and functions from previous contracts. We can walk through each of these contracts to better understand how they work. Let's start at the lowest level, Kitty Access Control, and move our way up. The Kitty Access Control contract manages the various addresses and constraints for operations that can be executed only by specific roles. There are 3 roles currently. These pertain to the creators of the game. They have special ownership and control over particular functions of the contract. It defines some function modifiers like only CEO, which restricts to a function so that only the CEO can perform it, and adds functions to perform actions like pause or release contract funds. The pause function is interesting. It allows the developers to freeze the contract completely, making it so no one can transfer, sell, or breed their kitties. It's probably not in their best interest to do that, but it's just something to note. Just because it's built on the blockchain, it doesn't mean control is completely decentralized. It's just made completely transparent in this case. When we move on to the kitty base function, we define the most fundamental code shared throughout the core functionality of the game. Where and how is our user data stored? What are the constants and the data types we'll use? What are the internal functions for managing these items? It first defines a kitty as a struct. It's essentially a bunch of unsigned integers that are its features. The genes represent its DNA, what it ends up looking like. Birth time tells us when the cat was born. Cooldown and block is the timestamp after which this cat can start breeding again. Matron and sire ID are the IDs of the cat's parents. Siring with ID is the ID of the father, and cooldown is how long the cat has to wait before breeding again. Lastly, generation tells us which generation the cat is of. We'll see that there exists an array of these kitty structs that were just defined. This array will hold the data of every single CryptoKitty that exists. It's like a master kitty database. Whenever some new cat is born, it's added to the array, and its index in the array acts as its ID. Genesis, the first CryptoKitty, has an ID of 1, for example. The contract also has a mapping from the cat's ID to the address of its owner to keep track of who a kitty is owned by. So whenever a kitty is given from one player to another, the kitty index to owner mapping gets updated accordingly to reflect its new owner. When a new kitty is created, the IDs of the mother and father, as well as its genetic code, are used. See how a CryptoKitty is its own data type? All these cats are stored on the blockchain, and who owns which cat is also kept track of. We call them kitties, but they can also be considered tokens. There are several token specs written for Ethereum, ERC20 being the most popular, used for initial coin offerings. But CryptoKitties conforms to ERC 721. This is a non-fungible token type that's really useful for tracking ownership of digital collectibles like rare game items or digital pets. Ether is considered a fungible token because any two Ether is just as valuable as the other. But with a non-fungible token, not all cats are created equal, so they're not interchangeable with each other, since one breed could be much more rare than another. The kitty ownership contract inherits from ERC 721, and all of these tokens follow the same standard. Kitty ownership fills in the implementation of the ERC 21 functions. A player can transfer their tokens to someone else by interacting directly with the CryptoKitties contract on the Ethereum blockchain, without having to go through their web interface. Moving up one level to kitty breeding, this is the contract that has the functions necessary to breed cats together, like keeping track of breeding offers, and notice that there is a separate contract called Gene Science that is not open source, that's used to calculate how new DNA is created. It seems like the reason they kept this part closed source is because if it wasn't, anyone could just read how a kitty's DNA was determined, and it would be a lot easier to know which cats to breed in order to get a fancy cat. When two cats are bred together, it looks them up in the master kitties array, sets the IDs to the mother and fathers, and executes trigger cooldown on both parents, so they can't breed again for a certain amount of time. Then the give birth function creates a new cat by determining the child's genes, then using genescience.mixgenes and calling create kitty. Now that we know how these cats are created, we can move up to the kitty auctions contract, which tells us how to auction or bid on cats or breeding services. This contract has certain functions like set sale auction address that can only be called by the CEO. Then in the kitty minting contract, it defines the rules for how a generation of cats are created. The number of promote cats, the number of cats in generation 0 is hard-coded. The COO can even create promo kitties and generate new kitties. This is probably for use with early beta testers and friends and family. Finally, we can move up to Kitty Core, the master contract. This is what is compiled and run on the Ethereum blockchain. It inherits from all previous contracts we looked at. It also adds a few more final functions like the get kitty function, which retrieves all of the CryptoKitties data using its ID. You might be asking, where are all these wonderful cat images stored? I don't see any code for that. Correct. A CryptoKitty is essentially just a 256-bit integer that represents its genetic code. The Solidity contract code has nothing in it that stores a cat's image or description. That happens on the CryptoKitties web server. This architecture choice was likely to avoid blockchain bloat. Storing lots of images on a blockchain is a bad idea. It could quickly add up to too much for miners to store on their local machines, and transactions could grind to a halt. It does introduce a single point of failure, the web server, but a future version could instead use the decentralized file storage network, IPFS, to store data so that no single entity can store the data. Instead, it's a network of computers. But that's a video for another day. 3 things to remember from this video. CryptoKitties is a mostly open source game that runs on the Ethereum blockchain, allowing players to buy, sell, and breed collectible cats. The code is written in Solidity and helps define functions for how cats are created, what their features are, and how a player can interact with them. And because the image data is stored on a web server, it's not completely decentralized, although IPFS could be a better alternative to that. Please subscribe for more programming videos, and for now, I've got to trade some cats. So, thanks for watching.
What's up everyone, my name is Michael and welcome to Box Mining. So I have a background in the video game industry, and one thing I really want to see is the application of blockchain technology in video games. So why is that important? Why do I want that? It's because video games is all about items. You have your guns, your knives, your weapons, your pets, and even your gold. And these are all items, and blockchain is all about tracking items. And that is why it just seems like such a natural match. The thing is, right now we don't see a widespread adoption of blockchain technology in video games. And I made a video about this previously about how we can try to grow this and use a project like Engine Coin to kind of grow this from bottom up to get the communities to adopt blockchain and to force gaming companies to do that. Recently, JT from GameFlip called me and he proposed to me a different alternative strategy for that, and I want to talk about that in this video. So I do want to revisit why we even want to apply this in the first place. So if you look at a game like World of Warcraft, which I used to play, then you have a lot of items in there. For example, you have your gems, which are very valuable. Sometimes you have to fight raid bosses to get these gems. You have weapons, you have your pets, and when you leave that game, then you have a hard time selling those items for real cash. And the thing is, they are extremely valuable. So at that time, if you want to sell these items, leave the game, change games, it'll be really hard and you have to resort to the black markets. So these are people that are kind of dealing and selling items, but the thing is, it's not official and there's a lot of risk in doing so. There's a similar situation for current games as well. So for example, you have CSGO where you have expensive knives and guns, and you also have PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which is also going the itemization route. The thing with these games is that they're on the Steam PC platform, and Valve, the company behind Steam, provides a way for developers to integrate and create items that can be sold on the Steam marketplace. But there are still two disadvantages. One is that they take a 15% cut of every item sold or traded. And another issue is, more importantly, is that when you sell item, you only get Steam credit, which means you can only buy future games with that and you can't trade that for real cash, even though it is exactly behaves like real cash. So again, if people really have a lot of items and they want to sell that for real cash, they have yet again resort to gray markets. So the thing with gray markets is it's vulnerable to scams. So one type of scam is the buyer scam, where the buyer buys a digital item. And the thing is, once they receive the digital item, they can go to the credit card company and say, hey, guess what? I never got the item. And can you issue a chargeback and reverse this transaction? The thing is, usually the credit card company will go to the seller and ask for a proof of sending the item. The thing is, because the item is digital, it doesn't have a tracking number. And in most cases, because the seller can't provide that tracking number, the payment does get reversed and the seller gets nothing. There's also a seller scam where the buyer pays money, but the problem is the digital item that is arrived or received isn't exactly the same item. So there's a lot of uncertainty and there's a lot of risks to using gray markets. The thing is, this situation is ripe for smart contracts, because you can write a smart contract such a way that it will only send the digital goods if the tokens or funds are received. And the thing is, because the transparent contract can be transparent, the buyer has protection knowing that they'll get the item once the payment is sent, and also the seller will have the protection because the tokens are not reversible. So this is a situation where we can eliminate risk and eliminate kind of this uncertainty in dealing with these item transactions. And, we've been talking about, the digitalization of real world assets for a while, but this is digital assets to digital assets. So it should be on a smart contract. The thing is, right now, this kind of system is not implemented because developers don't have the experience, and they also don't want to take the risk in adopting such a system. That's why we see currencies out there trying to solve this issue, but we don't see widespread adoption yet. So this leads us to JT. So JT is currently the CEO of GameFlip and is currently running marketplace for in-game items and games. And previously he's worked for Area Games, which is a game publisher. And it's this experience as a publisher that's extremely important and pertinent to this idea. The thing is, publishers are responsible for funding game development and they really want to reduce risk. And that's why they're the ones that kind of are the gatekeepers and also the ones that kind of don't really want to adopt this, because there's intrinsic risks in using blockchain for games and for games that their studios produce. For publishers to adopt this, they must see a reason to do so and they must see profits. So what he's proposing is that he's going to try to provide incentives and to build a system for the publishers for them already. And then with the incentives, they now have a objective and a reason to adopt the system. He's built up a team of gaming industry experts, for example, his co-founders from Area Games, but also he's got a bunch of advisors. Some of them are from Electronic Arts, Gree, we got Perfect World, and also Glu Mobile. So they got the connections to reach the publishers and get their attention. With the team assembled, he's trying to raise money through an ICO for the Flip token, and the Flip token will be used for game transfers and for item transfers, and also as an incentive to get publishers on board as well. So Flip is an extension to the Game Flip marketplace, but it's also a project by itself to convince publishers to adopt blockchain in their games. The idea is to reserve 40% of the tokens to be distributed to publishers to provide network growth. The idea is to lock certain portions of that 440 million tokens and to give them to publishers after they adopt blockchain. So now this will greatly reduce the risk for the publishers to adopt blockchain technology and adopt a Flip token, because now they have a guaranteed sum of tokens afterwards after adopting the system. And also will bring value to the network once they adopt, because once they adopt and start using the token, then the value of the token goes up. This amount will be distributed almost every quarter for a year. So there's 40 million tokens there to try to incentivize developers to go on board. Of course, this doesn't mean every developer can hop on board. That is because developing a game is immensely expensive, costing, for small games, 5 million is quite easy to pull off. And for most expensive games, 20 to 30 million per game. So this incentive will probably be for a combination of medium-sized developers, or if big developers want to try to monetize and use the blockchain on a small portion of a game. So it won't be for the whole game entirely, but they can potentially be incentivized to try this out for the next item loot drop box, for example. So taking small steps, but with the right people, is the kind of aim of GameFlip. So what do I think about this project? Well, I feel like this is a step in the right direction. We definitely need to have another way for game developers and publishers to hop on board. They've definitely seen blockchain technology around, and it's been around for a long time, but we don't see the adoption. And having advisors with experience in the industry and pull in this industry is extremely important for the adoption. So in a way, by contributing to this ICO, not only are you sponsoring the development of this project, the smart contracts, and the SDKs for it, kind of paving the way to make it go forward, but you're also providing a way for the publishers to get tokens and to be incentivized to go and hop on board. It is kind of a little bit unfair if you think about it. They are a billion-dollar industry and they should be the ones coming to us. But it does turn out that, of course, if you want true item ownership, this is something that we do have to fight for. And it's something that will allow the cryptocurrency community to gain overall on the whole. Of course, you are trusting Flip to be able to get these publishers on board, and this is something that is quite difficult. So I will make no exceptions there. Negotiating with publishers, even if you have the connections inside, is quite difficult, and getting a good collaboration going is hard. You can get a promise of a collaboration, but to get the next token in the next Assassin's Creed game or in the next Glue game, like the Kim Kardashian game or whatever that's going to come out, is going to take a little bit of effort, and there's going to be a lot of trial and error before this is over. But I do believe that overall, cryptocurrency does provide a huge value to the gaming community, and this is one of the ways to push for that. What do you guys think about this? I would love to hear your comments below. Do you think this approach is valid? Do you think that having the publishers on board and persuading them to go from the top-down approach is good? Or do you think the bottoms-up approach is good? How do you think is the best way to solve this problem and get cryptocurrencies adopted? And what do you think is the best way to get blockchain technology used in gaming? Because I really think that this is something that gaming is dying to accept. Of course, there are other games that are trying to use new tradable items, but they don't have tradable items. And that might be because the developers really just want to lock them into that ecosystem. So we see Blizzard going that way as well. And what do you think about this movement? Do you agree with that? Do you think items should be tradable? Leave a comment below and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell to receive notifications of new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.
What's up, everyone? My name is Michael, and welcome back to Box Mining. Today, I want to talk about gaming and blockchain because this seems to be a marriage born in heaven, combining kind of the trading and the security of blockchain and gaming, which is something that a lot of people want to play. It's entertainment, and there's also a lot of tradable assets in there. So this idea of kind of combining and using blockchain technology in gaming so that items can be tracked on the blockchain, can be traded between people. It's really something amazing, and it's something that I've been trying to follow for a long time, especially because I have a background in the gaming world. I built around 4 games, one of them successful, 2 of them were very unsuccessful. So I want to give in a few viewpoints of what I think about gaming and the blockchain and share that with you guys and how to look at it from a game developer's point of view. I'll start off by looking at the coins out there, and this is not a comprehensive list. So a viewer called AllCoinDude submitted this list to me of kind of different coins for different purposes. And over here we have around more than 12 gaming coins, and this is including new ones like D-Market and Engine Coin and even Zenio. So I'm going to take a look at this in general, but I'm not going to cover esports. I'm not going to cover AR and VR because these are separate topics and I think they can be explored more in detail. So I'm going to cover about gaming and using blockchain to track items. That'll be the focus of this discussion. I'm going to start off by looking at a topic which is very interesting to me. So I recently read an article on Cointelegraph which talks about blockchain as the biggest thing for gaming since the invention of the internet. I think this is a really big claim, but I do want to analyze how this can potentially work and the difficulties in doing so and a review of the projects as well. So why would it be the biggest thing for gaming since the invention of the internet? Well, the thing is, with gaming, there's a lot of itemization. So if you played any massively multiplayer RPG like World of Warcraft, you'll realize that there's a lot of weapons. You know, you got your Warglaives with Asinov. I use that in a gaming convention, and you have different weapons, skins, mounts, and everything in a game that you can think of can be itemized. And the reason for that is because people like collecting things, and also it gives people a lot of power and a lot of immersion in the game. So with that comes gaming itemization trading. There is trading in multiple games, and I've had a lot of extensive experience in that. I played a lot of Diablo 3 where you trade items, and there was a market for that initially. Also Diablo 2 was probably the biggest example of that as well. And then the eventual goal, I think, of blockchain and gaming is to itemize and put items on the blockchain so it can be traded not just within a single game, but be traded across games. That would be kind of cool because now gamers can get the advantage of trading items between games. They'll keep their their hoard of treasures they gather around in the game, and they can potentially move that to another game. You know, how cool would that be? And of course, if we're trading, then you're actually kind of trading on a blockchain, which is known to be safe. We do know that with a lot of games, trading has been a big problem with the black markets. And if blockchain can solve this issue, then maybe there's a huge potential for blockchain and money to be made on this. I mean, you know, the overall push of this, if you're presented to a lot of investors, especially since I was looking at these websites, they're talking about, you know, gaming as a $100 billion industry. It's growing very quickly. It's kind of like movies, right? Even movies are now threatened by the gaming market. 1/3 of the human population play video games. And in fact, if you look at the new Apple Store, you know, there's a dedicated section for games now. Like it's a dedicated tab on its own because so many people play games, and of course, it's so darn profitable. So now, of course, everyone wants to get a piece of this gaming pie, and they want to see if blockchain can be applied. So as you can see, something like this, which is a preview render of what they want to achieve with Engine Coin, it's about itemization. You can have your items that you have in different games, you can put them in all in one wallet, maybe perhaps on your phone, and you can show that off with your friends, you can trade, or you can even melt that down to change that into credits. So this is something that's very interesting, and I'm going to look into this, but I want to first talk about some disadvantages coming into this space as well. Just because this technology is there doesn't mean we know how to use it yet, and this is why we need so many different attempts to try to solve it. The thing is, with itemization right now, it's took a while for game developers to figure out how to item things properly and for people to feel like this is fun and fair. You see, if you go into a video game and someone, you fight someone, which is quite common, like for example, you duel with someone, or you try to challenge each other or compete with each other, which is a lot of the fun in video games. It feels, if there's an unfair advantage, then players feel extremely unhappy. It's something that we notice, and I think this is something that people really hate about free-to-play games. I made 3 free-to-play games, and we try to balance that, to balance the need for the company to make money and to monetize against fun. And it's always hard because we know the consequences of monetization. So why is this relevant? Why am I talking about free-to-play and itemization and value? It's because if you want to have something to have value, it's very difficult to make it have value without giving it an advantage or giving the player advantage if they use that item. And this is the thing, because blockchain is going to track items of value. So this is going to relate to free-to-play games or games that have items of value. And this is why it's extremely important, because items of value that are tracked by the blockchain must be fair for the gameplay. And this is one of the major hurdles that game designers and developers have to overcome before making a very good killer game on the blockchain. Another thing that developers and game designers have to overcome is trading between games. Because right now we see very good games are made by companies, for example, Blizzard. We have Diablo and World of Warcraft. So even though we see that Blizzard has the capability of doing something like that, we seldomly see key items being able to transfer across games. And these are 2 hurdles that I think must be overcome before we see good blockchain adoption in video games. I really think that this is an area that needs blockchain and can be a great application for blockchain because of the way it tracks. So we're going to look now at how various companies are trying to solve that right now. So I've done videos for something like D-Market and Skincoin, and they both have a similar idea, which is categorizing this kind of skins or Steam-based trading. Right now, we do see the Steam platform and just itemization in that. It's not decentralized, it's centralized, it's based on Steam, and of course, it does charge a certain fee. So blockchain could be used here to reduce the fees for this. The one challenge, of course, I pointed out is that Steam is quite good at providing protocols and providing support for that. So developers might naturally tend towards a Steam-based solution rather than a blockchain-based solution. So it's just kind of challenging the current system in place here. And this is one of the reasons why I think it's going to be hard for these companies to fight if it's just on these grounds. We also have game credits. So game credits is quite interesting because they have amazing technology. Amazing technology, just the way of the speed of the network of how they're trying to achieve this. And that might be interesting for developers if they want something fast, if you want blockchain. So this provides the framework, but I think they're going to be met by the challenges of trying to apply that and convince developers to go for it. Engine Coin is quite interesting because I've been following this project for a while, and I think it's got a different approach. It's got a much smaller and humble approach to it. The reason is because they're targeting Minecraft server owners, or they have a Minecraft base. The thing with Minecraft, which is quite interesting, is that there are a lot of people who run private servers. It's like having your own economy, having your own world, and players come to that. So they started off with a Minecraft community focus, and they started building up a gaming community. And with that, because server owners need something special for their servers, they want something interesting, this actually might be a good application because this isn't just moving things between servers. This might be interesting because this isn't moving things between games. This is moving between the same game but by different server providers. So for example, you can have a themed Game of Thrones kind of server or a medieval castle sort of server, and perhaps you can move items or items of value between these servers. So this might be something that's interesting if they can get these Minecraft server owners who want to do something special with their server to apply different plugins that can enable these features. This might be good for both players and, of course, server owners. Players get, items and have fun, and of course, server owners get to monetize on that fun. The funny thing, of course, is that now free market can decide which server survives. If the server owners are too greedy, then of course players will flock to other servers. So I think this is maybe a humble and an interesting approach to kind of solving how to apply blockchain to gaming. The thing is, there are these problems, and by using a community-based approach. Now community and server owners can figure out different ways to apply items and test them. And if they fail, then it doesn't matter that much. It's just a server. It's not a full game. This is very important because a lot of teams don't want to try very new things. As even indie developers, we want to try new topics. But if you want to apply blockchain to the whole game, it needs to change. It will change completely the way the game feels, the game is played, and it's a lot of risk. So by getting maybe Minecraft player owners or Minecraft server owners to try out and experiment things, we create a breeding ground for ways to apply blockchain technology to gaming. We've seen that with things in the past. For example, Warcraft 3 maps were this kind of breeding ground for new gameplay concepts, and that's what gave birth to Dota. So can Minecraft servers or different map owners or the community find ways to apply blockchain technology? I think this is one way to push it forward. I would like to see more blockchain-based things going towards that angle. I think Engine's got a head start in trying to get the community to design games around that. And hopefully we can get indie developers that are on mobile platforms to do this as well. Because I think this is a great way of pushing blockchain technology forward, getting gamers involved, getting games, fun games that are, kind of very small niche maybe at the start, and then growing that into a proper field, because that's how game design works. It starts off small. It's these small little concepts that gets built up over time. It's all about moving that needle forward, the art needle forward, starting with a little stone, rolling that up to a larger project, using similar concepts, building upon that, improving it each time, and then until some point we can see blockchain being applied to video games and items that can be traded on video games too. It's definitely a long road ahead. I'm not gonna kind of lie here that's gonna be done overnight. The technology could be done overnight. We see this few ICOs pushing this technology forward, but it's gonna take a while for game designers and the community to come up with ways to implement this, grow that up. But eventually, I think we can definitely make it to a point where blockchain can be part of gaming and where we can start seeing the benefits of blockchain technology in gaming and pushing blockchain forward through gaming too. So guys, what do you think about gaming and blockchain? Do you guys play video games? I'd love to hear the games that you play and maybe think of some ideas for games that use blockchain technology. As a developer, I'm still looking for ideas to try to create a game with blockchain technology, and I'd love to hear some input and insight into what you think about this. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember to click that subscribe button to subscribe to this channel so you won't miss out on future videos, and click the notification button, if you want to be notified. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.
Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you are all doing well and that you are all having a great day. First off, this must be said, the opinions expressed in this video are my own and should not under any circumstances be taken as legal, tax, and or investment advice. Just had to say that. So also there are no paid advertisements in this video, as that's something that I just don't do. The point of this video is, as you can maybe tell from this article right here, it says Ethereum and EOS only have 8 dApps combined with 300 plus active users. This was actually, I think I may have spoken about this a couple of weeks ago. I may have just touched on it. The point is that part of the thing that is believed that is going to actually push the cryptocurrency space forward is the use of dApps and or decentralized applications, things that we use on our phone, our mobiles, our laptops, computers, wherever you may use any type of app. As we are into cryptocurrencies, the idea is to have things that are decentralized. The problem is that 2 of the largest places right now where people are creating dApps, very few of them are being used. So I thought I would not talk about it, but more like put a spotlight on it, kind of. There are a lot of actually really cool dApps, at least myself. This is what I think, floating around out there, and I'm going to try and at least talk about a few of them so that I can kind of let other people have an idea that these things also exist, because I feel like for some reason I was checking around on social media, it had to be a day or two ago, and a lot of the apps that have actually come out, or dApps as they are called, don't have social media pages, or if they do, they never post. So I don't know if it just comes down to poor marketing, or if just a lot of people don't simply know that these things even exist. The point is, I'm going to try and if I can, open a door or open a window in everyone's mind so that they realize that these things are out there so that they can download them. Typically, a lot of them are free. Some of them, depending on, which app that you're actually using, you do have to pay, especially if you are buying collectibles. The point is, let's move on so I can kind of get going through with this. So, this video is going to be a bit unorthodox. There's not really a framework for me actually doing this. I just thought I'd make something like this because I think since we are in the cryptocurrency community, I think we also have a bit of an obligation, as it were, to actually look into and at least maybe start using some of these apps, especially if it's something that actually appeals to you. There's a list going around. It says 5 dApps on Ethereum that you should know. Once again, these are not paid advertisements. None of these are. I just thought some of these were actually kind of interesting. First one is a decentralized news network. The decentralized news network, often referred to as DNN, is a dApp on the Ethereum blockchain that distributes censorship-resistant and verifiable news. DNN ensures accuracy and transparency by giving incentives to writers, reviewers, and readers for carrying out required tasks. The dApp is focused on getting the factual content out, enabling the biases by filtering the information through the decentralized community. Another thing is, if you have actually used any of these, you may be one of the 300 people who's actually using one of these dApps. Let other people know if you have used them, what you thought about them, and if you can actually recommend any other dApps that are floating around out there, because I think, realistically, the amount that we actually use our phones and use the internet during the day, there must be at least 15 to 20 different dApps floating around out there. I think we have like thousands of them now that have been built on top of these platforms that have to be like something significant that can people can relate to and or find something that they actually, maybe want to use on a daily basis. Next one is called MakerDAO. Maker is an organization whose mission is to unlock the power of blockchain to create economic empowerment. They set out to solve the volatility problem in the crypto world. People and businesses require a stable medium of exchange, and the current cryptocurrencies are too viable. Their solution is a cryptocurrency known as DAI. DAI is a decentralized stablecoin soft-pegged to the US dollar with smart contracts. They created a system to minimize the volatility of DAI and keep it at a 1-to-1 ratio with the dollar. This means one DAI will always be equal to $1 in reality. However, there are narrow fluctuations. Same exact thing with Tether. That is something that we have all come to accept when it comes to stablecoins. I've actually not heard a lot about DAI, which is actually kind of interesting, especially I think this list is maybe like a month or so, maybe a bit more old. Maybe it just hasn't really gotten off of its feet. It has to be listed on some sort of exchange. Maybe it's actually listed on a decentralized exchange. That might be exactly what it actually is. 10x, a lot of people must know about this by now. 10x is a platform to spend cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum anytime and anywhere. 10x has an app on Android and iOS that changes virtual currencies to the currency accepted by a merchant with real-time, transparent rates and 0% conversion fees. The Android and iOS app make it possible to send and receive cryptocurrencies. It has a wallet that can store the major cryptocurrencies and issues a card that can be used to withdraw from ATMs. That is incredible. They have a partnership with Visa and are planning to get their banking license very soon. In April of 2018, 10x announced a partnership with Litecoin that aims to produce debit cards and spend Litecoin. I'm not exactly sure if that actually went through. Litecoin was having a couple of issues earlier this year. The point is, this could potentially also appeal to you if you have your own shop or own store or own restaurant or cafe where you've been thinking of trying to get cryptocurrencies accepted or accepting cryptocurrencies or allowing people to pay in cryptocurrencies. This could be something very significant for you. Even more so if you have been looking for a way to actually spend your crypto. This is one of a lot of people constantly ask how, I have the crypto, what do I do with it? And this is a seemingly good way. Like I said, if you have used 10x before or any of these other dApps, please let people know exactly what you thought about them. I think I've heard a couple of months ago 10x was actually quite big. I think a lot of people were actually using them. It could be because the market is down and no one's really looking to spend, as it were, their crypto. Everyone's waiting for the prices to go back up. But eventually, if we do end up entering a world where Bitcoin is in the 6 digits and people are looking to actually spend their crypto on a daily basis, 10x then could be for you. Next up is Gnosis, which actually also isn't in the news as much anymore. It says Gnosis is a prediction platform on the Ethereum blockchain. A prediction market is an exchange-traded market where people speculate about future real-world events like presidential elections, commodity prices, etc. People who accurately predict the outcome of any set events are rewarded. In Gnosis, accurate predictions can be rewarded in GNO tokens or any other cryptocurrency depending on the present rules. Developers can create their own prediction market on Gnosis with the developer tools on the platform. I think Gnosis was often compared to, oh gosh, what is it called? Augur. Augur was the other prediction market that was built on top of the Ethereum network. It is believed the entire reason why we have prediction markets, or rather decentralized prediction markets, and I was listening to, once again, a podcast many moons ago, and they were talking about the advent or beginning of a world where we no longer have to rely on stock markets or rely on not even centralized, other things that are regulated by governments, i.e. if you were trying to make a bet that on the 15th of October it's going to rain 8 centimeters, and then at that moment a cat is going to walk across the street. You're able to do that, you know, on your own free will with your friends. You know, even if you have 15 friends and you guys like to bet and or predict certain things, you're able to do that on Gnosis. You are not able to do that on any other government-based and or highly regulated prediction market that they have out there. And it's also believed that should these eventually catch on, people in Wall Street would actually start flowing to Gnosis and to Augur simply because they want to bet on other things. You know, everyone in essence likes to make money, but when you are restricted as to what you can bet against, especially in a lot of other countries where betting is illegal or are trying to predict something that is going to happen in the future, this can also be seen as gambling. So please make sure that you know what laws your country has before you start using this. The point is, this is also, I'd actually think this is actually quite interesting. The idea of prediction markets and being able to predict even historical events or things that could potentially happen could potentially be a very major thing in the near future. The last thing on here is IDEX. I'm going to actually stay away from this one as this is a decentralized exchange. A lot of decentralized exchanges right now don't have the level of security that is actually required or that we see in a lot of other centralized exchanges, what have you. So it is going to take a long time. It is believed that it is going to take a long time for decentralized exchanges to kind of get it together so that they are secure enough, because we have had a lot of hacks. I don't know if it has happened to IDEX or IDEX or whatever you kind of want to say it as. I don't know if it's happened to them. Probably not. The point is, I'm not going to touch that simply because I don't want to tell anyone to start using a decentralized exchange, especially if they have the probability or possibility of being hacked and or attacked anytime in the near future. I found a website called DAP Radar. It's very simple, DAPPRADAR.com, where they actually have a whole bunch of dApps listed. And I was very lucky that I actually found this, because I was hoping that there was actually something out there that actually showed what was actually happening in the cryptocurrency space as far as dApps, because a lot of times, typically when we hear about it, especially when we hear about it in articles, it is never, how do I say this? There's never anything really concrete. I also don't see things like this actually being advertised. So I think if you are planning on using a dApp or you are interested in using a dApp, maybe check out DAP Radar, as they may have a lot of information. They have things about games, they have things about exchanges, they have things about dApps that are, you can collect things, also marketplaces and other things like that. It's quite interesting. They have a ranked list. I'm going to start out with the gambling dApps, simply because I think, me personally, that part of a large future of the cryptocurrency space is probably going to be gambling. For those who do not know, gambling is an immense part of the financial world, because a lot of people like to bet, they like to gamble, they like to do stuff like that. So there are a fair amount of gambling dApps out there. What's interesting also about dapradar.com is that they actually show you, it's kind of weird, how many users in the past 24 hours, the actual volume that's actually flowing through them. And this is kind of what this article over here was talking about. The amount of users in the past 24 hours is like 3 on this one, 290, 229. You know, they're not the largest numbers in the entire world. Even the volume that's floating around, like this one had 1.7 Ethereum over the last 24 hours, which is not that great. Once again, to be fair, this could all be happening simply because, you know, the market is down. There's not a lot of, maybe not a lot of interest flowing around out there. But like I said, what I've seen is that for some reason, a lot of these, I don't know if they're just focusing more on building up the applications right now as opposed to actually getting people to use them or let people know that they're actually out there. Maybe, I don't know. I really honestly don't know. But I've searched for a couple of them, and they, for some reason, just don't have, they have nothing on their social media platforms. I can understand if you, if they don't have the money per se to be able to advertise themselves as much as they would like to on other, on Facebook or on Instagram. But to have nothing is very, very odd, especially if this is supposed to be the thing that helps propel cryptocurrencies into the mainstream. Another really interesting one is simply like decentralized games. I am a game player myself, so I thought this was actually quite useful. This has the most users than I think any other thing that I've actually seen. Even CryptoKitties has fallen a tiny bit. But even over the last 24 hours, they do have at least 80 Ethereum that was flowing through the market. To be fair, that's not an enormous amount, but the 7-day is actually pretty relatively healthy. It's impossible for me to actually go through every single one of these. This would take me a very long time. I do apologize if you are one of the creators of these dApps, and I do not have the chance to actually go over them. But I'm only one man. I don't have an immense amount of time, and I don't want to make a 9.5-hour video. Clicking around, I tried to find some of the most popular ones, if you will. One of the ones that really caught my eye first was called Gods Unchained. This is actually for people if you are interested in not only trading collectibles, but also in like a trading card type thing. They have who their partners are and stuff like that. Like, I'm not going to go too deep in this. This is really just to let people know that these things are out there, that you have the possibility of using them. You can get into these things if you want. There are a lot of people who are into any type of trading card game. This actually looks very, very close to a number of other apps as well as Magic the Gathering. So this is also something I was looking through this website, and this is probably something that I think I would actually even use or download myself. I am actually heavily into video games and trading card games, so this is something, it's also beautifully made. I have not been able to click through every single thing in it, but it seems like you're able to not only collect them, but also battle with other people. I'm not sure if you get rewards after you actually have beaten someone. So I know a lot of people might not be into the, the elf, the goblin, the bird sitting on the shoulder type games, but there are a lot of people who are actually into these things. And I know a lot of people, even in real life, who would probably be interested in something like this because, it's sometimes more comfortable to be able to do this at home on a computer than actually having to maybe go out and do other things, especially a lot of people like to play games on the computers themselves. Next up, no real introduction. Everyone knows CryptoKitties. The saddest part of this is that CryptoKitties was actually the largest dApp that we had in the cryptocurrency space. You can actually see the this big jump over here, the amount of users. Wow, that was okay. You can see it right here. 7,000 users were actually on CryptoKitties. To around where we are right now, it's certain days we have hundreds, 200, 300s. CryptoKitties is okay. I tried using it somewhere around this time period. My main problem that we had with it was that the Ethereum system was completely clogged. It took a long time to actually even try and buy or trade a cat. So I kind of backed away completely from it, and I can only assume that this is why a lot of other people have done so as well. For what it's worth, it is still one of the most popular dApps that we actually have out there. I'm not sure if a lot of people or even a lot of you have used CryptoKitties. It's okay. I'm going to be as honest as possible. It's a little weird. It's just like photos of cats, and you're like collecting these cats. I was hoping that it would have been a bit more animated. Maybe they just aren't there at that point in developing the dApp yet. But if you are into collecting cats and that's something that floats your boat, I would definitely look into CryptoKitties as well. As like I said, it's definitely one of the most popular. It has a lot of activity on the website. At least 5,000 transactions have happened over the last 24 hours, which is something to make sure to look for when you're trying to actually get into something. I couldn't find a lot of what's it called, like sports-based. Hold on, did it click? My computer is trash. Hold on. Nope. Oh, okay. My gosh, I'm so stupid. Oh gosh, I'm so dumb. I thought it was the actual website. I couldn't find a lot of things that actually had to do with sports One of the very few that I could find was called MLB Crypto Baseball. I know there are an enormous amount of people who are actually into baseball. It appears, like I said, I'm not really into baseball, so I can't really tell you myself. Nope, the actual website isn't loading. Oh, there we go. It appears you're actually able to collect famous players. I'm going to say that they're famous because their names are here. You're actually able to, I assume you're able to buy them, trade them, collect them. And it seems like if you read through the website, forgive me if I am incorrect, I feel like you can also not battle with them. You can like play games with them as well. This is kind of what it seems like. I am going to assume, yeah, there we go. I assume you can kind of like play with them in some certain way to be able to, you know, play against your friends and stuff like that. A lot of people think, or the idea is that as time goes on, a lot of these things will actually become more valuable, if that kind of makes a lot of sense. Whereas, like for CryptoKitties, one of the major things was that when the first generation of cats were born, if you kind of want to say it that way, that by the time we had like generation 29 or something like that of the cats that were being born, the generation 0 and generation 1 cats would then be the most expensive, as they were the hardest to find. So kind of the same exact thing. Also goes with this like God Unchained thing as well. If you read through it, I'm not going to click through the entire website. They actually talk about, I think what they actually have right now is their like first set of cards that have come out on the platform. And as time goes on, more sets will then be released. And, you know, should crypto collecting, digital asset DApp collecting really catch on, it could be that in the future that the first set of cards that are actually on this platform will become some of the most valuable, as if you are acquiring these cards, they are yours, same exact thing as in the, you know, the physical touching of these actual things. And should, you know, by the time the 5th or 6th set actually comes out for this, people will then be looking for these old cards, as they were the oldest and most, I think that's 146 ether for this card. That's a lot of Ethereum. So I think it's going to be the exact same thing for this. One can only assume that as time goes on, well, my computer has like the worst time loading this website, that as time goes on, as more people get into baseball, we get new players and stuff like that, I assume people will then be looking for these digital collectibles of these characters. I don't assume that they're like unlimited either. Typically what ends up happening is, if you have paid attention to any of the other dApps, they make them rare. Like they're not the, you know, there's not like an unlimited amount of them. This is why they actually have a cost, because there's only so many of them that are actually floating around. I spoke about Everpedia before, I think actually in maybe 1 or 2 other videos. The point of it is, it's pretty much a decentralized Wikipedia. You can actually become an editor on yourself. I think you actually receive Everpedia tokens by creating content. This is actually one of the largest dApps that we have right now. I think there are actually millions of users or something like that who are using it or have used it. Don't quote me on that exact number, but it's incredibly popular. I know it's only going to become more popular as time goes on. If you are a, how do I say this? If you are a writer, or you like to create content, or you like to just create Wikipedia articles, then I would probably switch over to Everpedia, because you'll actually be able to be paid for your efforts. Everpedia is expected to become one of the most important dApps that we have in the entire cryptocurrency space, simply because this will actually give access to a lot of people who have or are living in countries where crypto is restricted, i.e., you know, or rather news itself. There are a lot of governments around the world who do not like their citizens to know about things, anything that the government does not deem fit. And if you are actually posting on Everpedia, or actually you'll be able to use Everpedia in these other countries around the world, and this will help the spread of information for people who are living in countries that they cannot access normally on their own. Not to spend too much time on Everpedia, we've definitely spoken about it before, but if you are an editor, or if you are a writer, or if you like to create articles, like I told people before, if you you're actually able to create articles on yourself, and there are a lot of people around the world who are actually creating articles about themselves and their entire family. I think you can also create like family trees within the Everpedia dApp and or website, depending on how you're using it, where you can actually list out your entire family history. So the idea is, if in 4 or 5 generations, you know, you have family members who are interested in who you were, or who your mother was, or who your grandmother was, or who your father was, they'll actually have a complete rundown, everything written by you, so that they can know more about their family. Kind of interesting. At least I think so. I think that's very interesting. You know, 5 generations down the line, hundreds of years from now, having people being able to know exactly who their ancestors were without kind of having to guess. Like, I have to mainly guess. I don't know where my family was 500 years ago. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people also don't know that either. Anyway, moving on from Everpedia. DAP Radar also has an EOS list. EOS has a bit more activity, that might be an understatement, than it actually does on the Ethereum side. Like, certain things actually have like 700,000 EOS that are floating over through the last 24 hours, and that's 22% down. So one can only, that's actually 270% up. Some of the major ones that I was actually able to find and or somewhere around there is EOS.when. Once again, these are not paid advertisements. I haven't actually used any of them myself just because I don't really gamble. I'm going to throw that out there. But it seems relatively transparent. It shows exactly what's going on. You can see all the transactions that are actually flowing through it right now. Like I said, I know a lot of people like to gamble. I know a lot of people like to get into the gambling game. And especially realistically, I know it'll appeal to a lot of people, especially if you can just be at home and be able to, you can do this by yourself and be able to potentially win cryptocurrencies. It's also kind of interesting. Another one that I found that was also very large is called EOS Bet. Once again, another betting platform. What I think is interesting about this, and I tried searching around for it at least 15-20 minutes, and I couldn't really find a lot of information. As far as I know, that on Ethereum you have to pay what's it called, like gas, like transaction fees, if you will, every single time that a transaction actually happens on the network. This is why we need these updates on Ethereum, at least at the time of me making this video, in order for the transaction to kind of go through smoothly and or quickly. But on EOS, there are no transaction fees, and this may be why there's like a lot larger volume flowing through the actual thing, simply because I think you can actually maybe do it a lot quicker. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but I know there are free transactions on the EOS network. So the other large one that I found was EOS Bet. Once again, I'm actually kind of interested in using a couple of these. I might even do like a bit of a follow-up in a couple of weeks or something like that after I've used a couple of these myself. Just to, I want to see exactly if they work, how they work, if they're working really well, just so I can maybe even recommend a few more of them, because I think it's actually a shame that none of these are being used, or like very few of them are actually being used. I feel like on a daily basis, we should, at least maybe be using some of these, especially if you are into a coin or a cryptocurrency that does have, if you're into a crypto that has a platform that does create dApps, maybe start using some of those. That's not me telling you to like explicitly use them, but maybe look into it, see exactly if it's something that could benefit you. If you're playing a game where you are rolling dice, or you are playing some type of casino game normally on your phone, why not potentially do it on a blockchain or from a coin that you own? Or maybe even a lot of these also have ways that you can actually bet and then also receive cryptocurrencies after you've won. That could be kind of nice, making some money as you were on the train. One of the last largest ones was called EOS Nights. It's also something that looks potentially interesting. Not exactly sure how any of these works. It is actually available on the Google Store and the Google Store, the Play Store, and also the Apple Store, which is great because a lot of, available soon. Sorry about that. A lot of them are usually only available right now on the Play Store. I mean, this could be another reason why a lot of them aren't really that used. I know a lot of people have Apple phones in the States. So I guess if there's like a bit of a restriction, that could stop a lot of people. The point is to kind of end it here, more or less. I know the video was a bit unorthodox, but I sat here and I was like, it's kind of a shame that we have like actually thousands of dApps that are out there, potentially anywhere from 20 to 50 million people who are actually into crypto and into the cryptocurrency space right now. And even more or less, I'm going to assume out of those 20 to 50 million people, that at least 100,000 people around the world are into video games and or gambling or into some other type of thing that, they could definitely find a type of dApp that is for them. Hope you all enjoyed. Once again, if you've used any of these, tell me below. Tell other people, especially if you have liked them or disliked them. Be as honest as possible. People need to know what they should waste their time on. I might try and download EOS Nights. I might try and download, or rather use, Gods Unchained. and I might try and use some of the other betting ones just to see exactly if they pay out and exactly how useful they are. Once again, I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening. Wherever you are, wherever you might be, thank you once again for watching and or listening. Go out there and download some dApps. Maybe, like I said, I'm trying to make a follow-up video to tell you some of the best ones that I found. Thank you once again, and I'll talk to you all soon. See you.
Welcome back to Crypto Coin News. My name is Zach, and today we're going to be taking a look at a very interesting ICO called Play2Live. Now, as a gamer entertainer and being in the gaming space for 10 years, this ICO really caught my attention. Now, I should mention that this is a paid ICO review, but it's something I'm extremely excited to cover for you guys. Now, before you go and dislike this video because we're doing a paid spot, just don't be stupid for a second and actually analyze the video and look at the projects. All these projects that we are doing paid reviews for, we think are really solid projects, and we're being 100% honest and unbiased with you guys. We have no need to try to mislead you in any way. We get so many offers we could deny anybody we wanted, but we decided to team up with these guys because they have a very interesting project and we think they could be the next MLG.TV or even a competitor to Twitch. These are major companies worth billions and billions of dollars. Twitch was acquired by Amazon, and MLG.TV is the biggest esports industry in the world. Now let's take a look at Play2Live. So as you guys can see, Play2Live is entering the new era of live streaming. This is a live streaming platform that's going to integrate blockchain technology and cryptocurrency to reward viewers and streamers alike. And it's going to allow organizers of tournaments to organize esports gaming tournaments. If you guys haven't seen them yet, it's really popular in the League of Legends community, the Dota community, the CSGO community, the Call of Duty community, Gears of War, any first-person shooter or competitive strategy game like StarCraft, World of Warcraft, etc. They all have their own professional esports. Overwatch, there's so many games out there, and these prize pools can be as much as $4 or $5 or $20 million at a time for one single tournament. Now, basically what Play2Live is trying to do is they're trying to create their own broadcasting website where, one, you can broadcast as a casual streamer, two, you can actually host esports events and tournaments for cash prizes such as cryptocurrency prizes, and viewers get rewarded for watching. Now, let's take a look at it. The ICO is in pre-sale right now, so you do get a 30% bonus if you buy in the next 4 days and 20 hours. Their hard cap is $30 million, and they're already over halfway there, which is crazy because their pre-sale is not even over yet, but that's just because this community is such a big community with tons of potential earning opportunities. So let's go down. Here's their project, okay? So Play2Live platform introduces a full-blown ecosystem for esports and gaming industries with a focus on content generation and practical needs for streamers, providing unique interactive opportunities for all participants of the ecosystem. Now guys, since I've been in the gaming industry for 10 years now, I can tell you live streaming platforms earn tons of money, especially in the esports industry. Esports, one of the biggest organizations known as Optic Gaming, they're worth well over $25 million, and many speculate them to be worth $100 million, and that's just one team. Now, esports in general is definitely a multi-billion-dollar industry, as Dota sometimes has tournaments for $20 million prize pools. Now, there's a ton of money in this space, and these websites generate a lot of viewers, which generates a lot of profit. Now, let's go down here. I want to show you guys their solution, okay? So why they're different than all the competition. Based upon blockchain technology, Play2Live introduces a unique mix of interactive features and monetizing tools, which isn't available with other existing streaming platforms. The further development of Play2Live's Level Up chain is the ultimate end-to-end solution for streamers, gamers, and esports fans, providing them with the key advantages of blockchain technology that meet their needs, such as speed, transparency, security, and availability. Now, they actually do have a up and running like little beta test site if you guys want to check it out. I'll link all of this stuff down below, the same with their ICO page. But you can see this is how their viewing platform would look. You can click into it and view it. I'll show you guys that. Right now they have a vote up for what esports tournaments would you like to see. Dota 2, Counter-Strike, and Overwatch. Some previous broadcasts, And this is all in beta kind of test form, but if we click on this right now, it takes us in here and you can see a whole bunch of test comments, likes, viewership, and how many users are watching right now. All our subscriptions and everything active. So as you can see, you can watch the tournaments live here and watch your favorite teams and kind of support them. This is kind of the future of sports. A lot of people think that new sports are going to pop up and esports will be one of the biggest sporting leagues in the next 10 years. And I really do believe that, as a lot of the younger generation are turning away from traditional sports and really starting to support things that they can become. I know certain people can become an NFL superstar, but it's a lot harder to become an NFL superstar than it is to work really hard as a teenager or a young adult and grind your way to a potential pro gaming slot. Like I have done that with my life, and I know it can be achieved. And I know, like, being a pro football player can be achieved, but it's a lot harder, and a lot more people have a chance at this as the industry is a lot larger. There's a lot more teams, there's a lot more sports. There's not only one game that's in esports, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of games that offer decent living wages. Now, how does this work? Okay, so the viewer. If you're a viewer on their platform, you enjoy an advertising-free streaming platform, so no ads. No, that's a complete ad-free experience, which is important to a lot of people. If you're on Twitch nowadays, which is one of the biggest stream competitors to this, they are riddled with ads. You have side banner ads, top banner ads, lower banner ads, and you even have video ads. So, and then they interrupt your content every few minutes. So, you actually earn tokens in more than 5 ways if you're a viewer. So you actually earn cryptocurrency just by watching. There are over 15 ways to interact with a streamer and a platform using the LUC as a means of payment, okay? So if you're a streamer and you want to stream on this platform and earn a living, you can earn money from the very first stream. Now, this is hard because if you want to stream on other platforms, sometimes they require you to have thousands of viewers or thousands of subscribers or thousands of followers before they allow you to make money. But if you're a streamer on this platform, you can earn instantly. Okay, you can start making money right away. There are 11 ways compared to 5, so there's 11 ways to earn income as a streamer on this platform. Now, for esports tournament organizers such as MLG and all of those, and UMG and all those big organizations in the esports community, they can collect funds for tournaments and arrange any game on the platform. Users have direct influence on the content generation process. Partner services and advertisers are already on board. Now, let's scroll down here a little bit. So viewers can enable advertising and support the streamer by watching it. So if you're a viewer and you really enjoy, say, watching me stream on this platform and you want to help me earn extra income, you can enable ads if you truly want, just for my streams. That will make me more income, and you'll actually earn rewards too in the form of cryptocurrency. So you as the viewer get benefited, and me as the streamer gets a benefit as well. Okay, viewers can watch streams and earn LUC by sharing their internet channels via the P2P CDN service easily from any device. Viewers can influence the stream directly due to the unique system of tasks featuring a streamer and a viewer. Users can determine the scenario of a stream and become participants of the show. So say I have an interactive stream going and you guys can pay X amount of cryptocurrency to troll me or make my time a little bit more difficult. You can make that happen, and it makes it for a really fun, engaging experience for the streamer because it would be unique every time, and a very fun, engaging experience for the viewer, which these are all huge benefits. We've seen other platforms try to do this in the past, and I think this is an amazing idea to bring interactivity with the people that watch gaming content and the people that produce gaming content. Okay, so game publishers can sell games via the platform and interact with streamers by offering proposals for content promotion. The transparency of interaction is ensured by blockchain. So you can, if you're a game publisher, you can put your game up on this platform. You can offer it to people to buy, or just maybe give away to certain streamers to help promote your product. Viewers are encouraged to become active users of the platform by earning a higher amount of LUC. Amateur streamers get ready-made mechanisms for promotion and marketing. So if you're a viewer and you come back often and you're very loyal to the system, you're going to be rewarded more. So there's going to be like a level up system, which is very, very, very interesting. Now let's look at how the model works. This is their economic model. Okay, so open market. So say you, the user, are ready to view a stream and you want to buy some of their tokens. Well, you send $5 up to the cloud, you get 100 tokens into your little wallet. Okay, so now maybe you're really enjoying watching one of my streams and you want to tip me 100 tokens. So how this works is your 100 tokens are sent up here, and I get 60% of those. So I get 60 of that 100, and the other 40% go to the operations fund, which helps reward users. Okay, so the 40% of every donation or every contribution will go to this cloud up here, allowing you as a viewer to get paid. So everyone that's sending donations in will constantly keep the operations fund fully funded. And with a fully funded fund, we're going to see people being able to get paid for viewing, for interacting, and just for contributing to the platform. And then they burn 80% of the leftover tokens that get up here. So they're just burning supply constantly, making the tokens even more valuable, which is extremely interesting. Okay, so let's go down a little bit more. Here's their team. All their team members, their CEO and founder has over 7 years of experience in esports. Okay, one of the trailblazers of esports industry in Russia. Okay, so this is a huge asset to their team. Alexei has 7 years of esports experience, and esports, I'd say, has been around in popular markets for only about 4 years, but has been around for over a decade in total. So then their COO is a former director of esports. Okay, so a former esports director. And then their CBDO is a former head of global co-branding and licensing, head of merchandise licensing global in Wargaming. Wargaming is a huge company, so this is a great asset for them to have. Now, if we go down a little bit, they actually do have a really big team, and you can actually view all of their team members here if you want to go all the way down to the nitty-gritty. But their advisor board is extremely interesting as well. They have Victor Martin, and a former world champion of StarCraft. So like I said, esports has been around a while. Yes, Blizzard has had their esports around longer than anybody, as he was the 1998 world champion of StarCraft. So they have him on as an advisor, a ex-pro esports player, which is really interesting that they're taking people like that into their advisory board, because those are the people that are the lifeblood of this community. And when you have lifeblood of the community in your pocket, that's really going to help you fuel your system. So if they just had a whole bunch of corporate suits here, I'd be a little worried. But they're bringing in some gamers and actually taking some advice from these guys that have been in the esports space as competitors, which they have, I think, a really good sight on what would make the esports industry better, because they were there as a competitor. And then they have all of us viewers that can give input on their social medias and on their platform. So they're going to take advice from the viewers and from ex-esports players. Now, they have a huge advisory board, guys, massive advisory board, and all of them are great professionals. You can even look at more of their board members and advisory board members here. And here's their roadmap. So this is kind of engaged off of how much they're going to earn. So $5 million was one of their lows. They're going to start development at $5 million. And then here at their core features development at $10 million, and then integration with partner services at $15 million. Right now, they're at this point already, okay? And their real sale doesn't even start yet. I think they're definitely going to hit their $30 million point here, their hard cap, and actually launch the broadcast of the most popular esports events. So how are they going to use all this money that they're raising? If you guys want to look at this roadmap, you can pause the video right now and go over everything. But they're going to try to get integration with external projects like Dota 2, League of Legends, Overwatch, CSGO, probably Call of Duty, Gears of War, all these other major esports. And then they're going to try to expand to different regions. Obviously, Asia is a huge market for this, but the United States is also a massive market for esports, and the UK. So those three areas are going to provide a lot of consumers for this product. But let's go down here. How are they going to spend all this money? Well, here's a little bit of their token breakdown here on how the sales are going to work. You can buy this in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Dash, and United States dollars. It's 5 cents per 1 LUC. Okay, so 5 cents right now. You get a 30% bonus, obviously, if you're buying right now than you would in a little bit. How are they going to use the funds, though? Okay, because this project is going to be expensive to get up and off the ground. Obviously, there's competitors in this space, so it's not going to be an easy task. Well, they're going to use about 20% of all funds raised for purchasing the rights to broadcast these esports tournaments. Now, this is going to be an expensive accusation because, oh God, this is going to be an expensive thing to acquire because, one, buying the rights to stream League of Legends and Blizzard games like Overwatch and then Dota 2 and to get into all these different esports, it's like buying broadcasting rights from the NFL because these are pro organizations, pro leagues that you're buying licensing rights to, like how CBS, NBC, Fox, they all buy rights from the NFL to be able to broadcast the games, and those rights are expensive. Obviously, esports isn't as expensive as the NFL yet, but that's going to be a very expensive chunk. So I really much believe that this is going to be 20% of their earnings, which is going to be $6 million if they raise their $30 million. Negotiating exclusive broadcasting contracts with streamers. So this is another huge. So as a professional gamer, I've been approached by many platforms such as Twitch and etc. I can't say too many of the names to be an exclusive streamer on their platform, and they can pay $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month to some of these streamers. So they are going to need probably the 4.5 million that they're saying they're going to use on this budget to get some of the bigger streamers away from their current comfortable platforms and get them to start streaming here. With that 15%, they can buy esports organizations and have their players starting to stream and have them tweeting it out and making YouTube videos about it, and that's going to create a lot of attraction to this marketplace. And then it just creates a lot of word of mouth, which will create a lot of buzz here. We could really see this site take off with this amount of budget that they have allocated for getting streamers on. And then marketing, 10% of their budget is going to be used for marketing, which would be about $3 million. That's smart. You want to market your product. I'd like to see a hefty marketing budget, and these are both technically marketing budgets. So 25% of their total budget is going to be used to market, because getting these streamers on that already have a large following is going to be bringing people over to the platform. Play 2 Live platform development, 10%, so about $3 million. Legal fees, 3%. Blockchain level up chain development, 3%. Personal expenses and other, administration and project, outsourcing, CDN, and maintenance fees, obviously. So right now, their token distribution is going 1% to bounty campaigns, 7% to their advisors, 7% to partners, founders, and project team get 10%, reserve fund 11%, and sold to open market is going to be about 63% of their tokens. Then they have a frequently asked questions section down here if you guys want to go over it. But like I said, this is what their platform looks like right now. This is obviously extremely early beta. Their token sale just barely started pre-sale, but this is really nice, and I like how it looks. And being able to earn cryptocurrency to engage in my favorite entertaining content seems like a really good way to go. And everyone's trying to get into the crypto space right now, including streamers and industry professionals. So this might be a good entrance for them, like people that are I consider my colleagues in the entertainment gaming space. So I do see this project succeeding, and I'm really excited about it. I want you guys to let me know what you think about the project down below in the comments section. Are you going to check it out? Are you going to do your own research? Obviously, you all should do your own research before you invest in a project. But right now, I think this project is going to see some serious legs. It could see some purchase offers. I really do think that one day, like I saw so many streaming companies be purchased by Microsoft or Amazon, just because it's such a competitive space and so many people are trying to get into it. So we could definitely see a purchase offer and then be acquired by another big company if they make enough noise, and that's just going to drive token price up. So I'm really, really excited about this project. That's why we accepted it. Now, guys, know, yes, some days we'll do 1 paid review. Some days we might do 3 like we're doing today. I'm always going to try to make it only 1 paid review a day, but there are always going to be projects we truly believe in, like this one. This is a great project. There's nothing bad I could say about this project, and I really do enjoy their team. I enjoy communicating with them so far. They have a whole documents list here if you want to look at everything, get into the nitty-gritty of the white paper, their 1 page, everything, their risk factors. They cover everything in all of their documents. They're extremely transparent. They're great people, and they have a great product and utility that I think will see some serious growth here in the year 2018. Obviously, the gaming esports space is continuing to grow year by year. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I think in the next decade, this could be the next big professional sport that people are seeing. 50 million people tune into the gaming Super Bowl, or 60 million people, and just this massive, massive worldwide phenomenon. So I'm really excited about Play 2 Live. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and until the next one, happy trading and goodbye.
For the Love of God by Damien Hirst sold for $100 million. A De Kooning for $300 million. A Da Vinci for a record $450 million. Since the dawn of time, whether it be for survival or social capital, people have collected things. It's just that nowadays, things are exchanged for money, and some things for a lot of it. A diamond skull you can hold in your hand, or a painting you can hang on your wall, their value is determined in part by scarcity, but also by the fact that they exist in the material world. How then is it possible for a CryptoKitty, which isn't even a physical object, but just a code written on a blockchain, could sell for $140,000?
And it is sold for $140,000!
And this CryptoKitty isn't the only so-called blockchain collectible to be sold at such a ridiculous price. This CryptoPunk sold for $16,000. Homer Simpson meets Pepe the Frog was sold for a jaw-dropping $39,000. And with CryptoKitties' total sales bringing in $25 million, they are by far not the only game that's trying to turn code into gold.
Everything in blockchain games costs real money.
You have to make a decent investment to begin with.
It's accessible to everyone.
So what are blockchain games? And why do people invest so much time and money into them? Blockchain games are built using distributed ledger technology, and most of them, like CryptoKitties, are being built on the Ethereum blockchain.
Objects that are written to blockchain has an objective history to them. It can't be faked. Like, for example, you have a gun in like blockchain version of CSGO, and somehow you manage to ask Arnold Schwarzenegger to play the game at your computer with your gun, and he shoots somebody, and this thing that Arnold Schwarzenegger played with your gun is written to blockchain on your gun, and this gun also automatically increases in value because it's a celebrity gun right now.
Each CryptoKitty is what's called a non-fungible ERC-721 token. Non-fungible means that, unlike Ethereum or Bitcoin, each ERC-721 token is one of a kind. So each kitty you own is a unique kitty, making it rare and scarce, and most importantly, owning the token means you own the CryptoKitties code. For this video, we decided to play two recently released blockchain games, Blockchain Cuties and 0x Universe. But before we could start playing, first we had to top up our crypto wallets.
Everything in blockchain games costs real money.
They are not free. In order to play, you need Ethereum. But think of it as an investment, but more on this later. So here are the Blockchain Cuties. Think CryptoKitties, but cuter, possibly. Each player receives a free trial cutie, but this disappears once you breed your first one. The real serious players want what's called a Generation 0 cutie. These are the rarest of the rare in terms of cuties. The starting price for one of these, 0.1 Ethereum, which is about $30 at the time of recording. There are two options in the game: to breed your own cutie with a unique genome, or to send it on what the developers decided to call adventures, where it will fight with other cuties. Though, don't expect anything like Zelda or Mortal Kombat. We put our cuties on the battlefield, and they fought surprisingly well. Wins strengthen and give experience to the cuties, which increases their value. So, later on, you can sell them for a profit. We also played 0x Universe. The idea of this game is to collect planets and build your own universe. Without going into too much detail, we pretty much just launched a bunch of rockets to go and look for new planets, with a few of them never returning, apparently lost in space. But since we didn't discover any planets, we decided to buy the coolest looking planet we could. Blockchain games are all about money. Every action you make in these games, you pay for it. In exchange, if you are lucky, you might be able to make a positive return on investment.
People who are collecting in a digital space, they're good at staying focused. They have some kinds of critical thinking because they're making comparisons.
Even though we were just breeding cuties when we played it, it gave us a sort of sense of achievement. Turns out this makes total sense.
When you actually make the purchase, you have the reward center triggers right in your brain. You've accomplished something. The same as when you're playing a game with any kind of reward. So your brain responds with the reward neurotransmitters. It feels good.
So what drove players to these blockchain games in the first place?
Blockchain games allow them to earn money. Average gamer is not like a gamer at all. It's more of a trader, usually a male of age 25-40. They can buy an asset, do something with it, and try to sell it for a higher price. I personally know a guy who made 40,000 euro by playing CryptoKitties in December.
So if the average gamer is not actually a gamer, but really more of a trader, can we really call it a game? Well, the answer is both yes and no.
And the breeding aspect is really interesting to me because, trying to decode the genome, it does require you breeding constantly to kind of get more data points to figure out how the genome works. And that portion, that puzzle of the game is one of the most intriguing things in blockchain cuties to me.
But what really makes these games popular is the fact that these blockchain cuties, or kitties, or planets, or whatever else, they are essentially a cryptocurrency, which you can buy, sell, or hold. And as cryptocurrencies are extremely volatile, so are the games that use them.
If crypto completely crashed to the ground, I would probably stop playing blockchain cuties.
And that is what happened to blockchain games. Since the release of CryptoKitties in 2017, the number of daily users has dropped by 96%, from 14,000 to around 500 less than a year later. These collectible games obviously resemble gambling, and like a casino, the house always wins. There might be a few lucky success stories, but there are certain behaviors to watch out for.
Electronic funds are quite hard to keep track of mentally for people when they're doing their mental accounting. When you then put that into cryptocurrency and you're gambling at decimal points, it's very difficult for individuals to really easily track how much they're winning and particularly how much they're losing. When it starts to become problematic is when people are gambling more than they can afford to lose, when it no longer is just a fun, entertaining leisure activity.
But on the other hand, these games are about collecting, not about betting. So what compels people to play?
These objects are now a part of how they see themselves or a part of their identities. People collect because these objects have meaning to them, and by accumulating them, it also gives them a sense of competence or self-efficacy, and it gives them social capital. It gives them something to talk with other collectors about, to show that they're knowledgeable, that they have these assets.
Although we were not constantly breeding like Risco, it was fun playing both Cuties and Zero X Universe. It is hard, though, to justify spending $40 on a digital planet, and even more on the Cuties. Furthermore, over the time we spent playing, the crypto markets had dropped substantially, and the value of the Cuties, planets, and most of the collectibles have followed suit. Blockchain created digital scarcity. While it is true that the code behind the pixelated character is unique, something almost completely identical is so easily reproducible that the idea of uniqueness is almost meaningless. What is really being created is just artificial scarcity. So far, these collectible games don't offer very much to gamers. Their survival, it seems, depends on whether they can offer gamers more than just a trading platform.
The relationship between player and developer will be more like an open market relationship rather than it is a closed ecosystem relationship right now.
As long as blockchain we have a system where I'm going to have to pay gas to write to it, and it's going to take a decent amount of time, I don't think that that's going to fit into something, let's say, World of Warcraft.
This is the first generation of people that are collecting digital objects, right? If you collect paintings or sculptures or Dresden dolls or whatever, then you can pass those down. How does this pass down?
So whether or not the idea of blockchain games appeals to you, their existence raises some interesting questions about value, scarcity, gaming, and even ownership. Tell us your thoughts and your gaming experiences in the comment section below.
Cointelegraph. Like, subscribe, and hodl.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Crypto Corner. Today I'm coming to you from my temporary residence here in Thailand, and I'm going to be sharing with you a brand new video game. It's called Crypto Barons, and as you can guess from the title, it is related to crypto. In fact, they have their own native cryptocurrency inside the game, which you can, once you earn it, you can actually take it out of the game and you can exchange it for Ethereum or Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency of your choice. This is what makes it exciting to me. And of course I have questions, so today I'm joined by Chima Abafor, one of the main project developers and programmers, who is going to answer all of my questions, and he's going to give us a taster of the game to show us how do you play it, what the interface looks like, and what you can expect from this game, so don't go anywhere. Hello Chima, and thanks for joining me. So let's find out more about this game. It is called Crypto Barons, and it is quite new. Chima, it's still in alpha or beta testing? I just saw it yesterday.
Crypto Barons is the first of a new kind of gaming on the blockchain. It tries to merge this mainstream gaming that everyone is used to with the blockchain gaming. You know, since the blockchain games came out like Kitties, it's been quite difficult for a lot of people to adopt to this new blockchain gaming, you know, and with all these other games, the kind of interactivity with them is quite decreasing because we just have picture games, we have card games. You know, it's not like the normal games we feel when we play our mobile games, strategy games, RPG and all that. So we try to create a new kind of game. It's a strategy game now. It's cross-platform. It plays on mobile, it plays on web, iOS, PC games. So the front end is developed with Unity, the back end is on the blockchain. So it makes it easy for mainstream gamers, you don't have to use any plugin like MetaMask or Trust Wallet or any other plugins with the game. It has its own inbuilt wallet. You don't need to know about cryptocurrency. All you need to do is once the game is ready, you just download the game and you start playing, and you can start earning money quite easily. Yeah.
Yes, and it is based on the Ethereum blockchain, so it is it's using Ethereum tokens at the moment, and you also have your own token, which is the Baron coin, isn't it? Which is an Ethereum-based token.
Yes, it's an Ethereum-based token. It's ERC20 tokens. Okay, for the game, we have two kinds of tokens that we use. We use the ERC20 token, which is the Baron coin. It's the in-game currency for buying assets. Now, these assets themselves, the assets in the game, like the players, the soldiers, the wall or magic potions, you'll be getting at ERC721 tokens called non-fungible tokens. These tokens can be transferred to other players, to other gamers. It can be used in different games. So it's what makes these games unique. You know, when you're playing games like these normal games, once you've played the game and you're done playing the game, you only have like the bragging rights. You can't transfer that gameplay to another person. You can't sell an individual player to another person. What you could only do is maybe you could sell your profile to another way you trade profile. You know, but with this game now you can trade individual assets. What makes it interesting? Let's say, for example, you're playing with your soldier and your soldier is in level 12. He has a lot of experience points. You could transfer it or you could sell it off to another player. You know, that's what makes it cool. You could even give it to your friend to play. So it makes this game very cool. Those ERC721 tokens is what brings the difference to blockchain gaming.
How did you come up with the concept of the game, and how long did it take you to actually get it from concept to being a finished product?
So this game is actually about development now. The game came out on the blockchain. It was Kitties, blew everybody's mind. You know, everyone was buying and purchasing kitties on the blockchain.
Yeah, that was last year.
We came up with, yeah, that was last year. So we were amazed with this new technology. By then, we had already developed a few applications on the blockchain, Switch Wallet, Thundernet.io. They do different things that we'll explain later. But we thought, okay, what could we do with the blockchain? Something that is interesting, something that makes it easy. Then we threw out a challenge, and one of the colleagues came up with the idea for the game. So at the time, it was going to be like a picture game or 2D game that you just play on the browser. But over time, we're changing the concept. We tried to now make it more like a 3D game, like what we have then, the CryptoKitties, using plugins. But we decided to remove these plugins. We introduced our own wallet into the game called Switch Wallet, which acts as the wallet for the game. So you don't need any extra plugins for this game. All you need to do is to just download it and you start playing. So it makes it easy for mainstream gamers to just play it on their PC without any idea of the blockchain. You know, the concepts of the blockchain just start coming in as you start playing the game.
And you can also play it on mobile, I believe. You showed me on your mobile phone.
So, we have the mobile version of the game. I could just quickly show you.
Because I know more people that play games on mobiles today than on computers, to be honest.
Yeah, mobile gaming makes up for a whole lot of the percentage of the gaming. I don't know if it's clear.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So I just logged into the game on my mobile. So it's loading up the assets. So game instructor showing you things and all that. So it's quite interesting. You build your city, like you can see. You can build my cities. Then you can attack other kingdoms. You have place to attack and all that. So we have a lot of interesting features.
You're also collecting assets, and in the beginning you are buying assets as well. How are you buying these assets?
Okay, we have on our website we have a marketplace where we sell these assets. The assets, like I said earlier, on our ERC721 tokens. So once you buy them, they are mapped to your Ethereum address. Now the game works with your Ethereum address, which is created by the game.
The game gives you an address. I mean, because if you're a new user and you're not familiar with blockchain at all, and you don't have cryptocurrencies, you wouldn't have an Ethereum address. So when you open the account with the game, you already have an Ethereum address.
That's correct. That's correct. The game creates the Ethereum address for you, so you don't have to do anything of that sort. Creates the address for you. Then you go to the marketplace. Once you buy assets on our marketplace now, it automatically maps it to the Ethereum address created for you. So I can show you the demo of the marketplace.
Yes, please.
Assets. All right. So, okay, so this is our website, cryptobarons.io. I'm already logged in. So once I go to my profile, yeah, you can see here, this is the amount of Ethereum I have here. This is my Ethereum balance. This is my Baron coin balance. And what's good about this is actually live on the Ethereum blockchain. You can verify this on Etherscan. So, and this address was actually created by the game. So I will just do that quickly so that we confirm the balance there, and you'll see how it works. Okay. Go. Okay, so you can see my Ether balance here.
Yes.
This is it, and this is it in the game. So it's actually getting these values on the blockchain. Yeah, I transferred my Ethereum. I transferred some Ethers so that I can play the game.
Okay. So if you don't have an Ethereum, what can you do?
Okay, now you can pay with card. You can buy Baron tokens with card here. We have this demo here. Once you click it, it brings up this payment option for you. You put what's the amount you want to pay.
Okay, and you make a purchase with your card.
Yeah. So yes, so it's powered by Switch wallets. You can pay this amount.
Okay, so that's very easy, and this is all done within the game. You don't have to go to a third-party service or anything like that.
No. So, like, let's say you're familiar with Ethereum and all that, you can actually buy with Ethers. Once you click on this, it brings up the payment. You say how many Ethers you want. Let's say 0.02. Proceed.
Okay.
Now it verifies you have this Ethereum balance, and it processes the transaction immediately. So it's done within the game.
Okay.
It's quite easy. Yes. So
and what you just did is you purchased Baron coins, which is the token for playing the game. You don't actually play the game with Ether. You play it with the Baron coins, and you buy the Baron coins with Ether or with your card. Yes, I get it now.
Yes. So now let me show you the marketplace like I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
So we have the marketplace, have different workers, have soldiers, different soldiers and all. We have economy assets they use within the game.
These are the assets that we are buying with the coins, right?
Yes. So let's say you view these assets. Okay, so this is a farm. Farm helps you to produce food within the game. Okay. So let's say you want to purchase this asset by. You put the quantity you want. Let's say 1. We're just testing this here, 1. So now you see you can pay with Ethers, you can pay with Baron coins, and you can also pay with your MasterCard here. You can do it on the spot too for purchasing the assets. So you see here we have a 40% discount for purchasing with Baron coins for now. So once you buy the Baron coin, it makes it easier for you. You can buy a lot more assets with the same amount of money. It verifies the money in your wallet. It checks your Ethereum address. It checks whether you have that money there, and it processes it. So let's see. So it asks me to confirm this transaction. It's showing you the gas costs. This is the cost of the gas. This is the cost of the, these are my balances here. So I can proceed.
And for those who are not familiar, by the way, gas is basically the fee for payments with Ethereum on the Ethereum network. So when you spend Ether, you pay a little bit of a fee and it's called gas. So, you know, just clarifying here. Okay.
That's right. So you can see transaction is successful. Okay. Now, if I go back to my profile, yeah, you can see my transaction history. You see it's transaction 10, purchased 1 farm.
Yes.
This is my transaction history.
Yes.
Yeah, then if you go to the chests, it shows you the items you've purchased. This is a farm. So you can see it there. Now, we have this demo game where people can play this with these few assets they've purchased here. And what we are doing with this pre-game actually is that you can mine gold, you can get food, you can gather wood, and it's all very easy. Okay, so the URL for this game is mini.cryptobarons.io. That's it here. It's actually very simple. We have a tour that guides you once you load it for the first time. Once you logged in already, it shows you this. So it shows the tour. Click on profile button. Yeah, once you click on profile button, next. So this tour shows you around, you know, shows you around how to play the game and all that. So I will just skip this. I'll just skip this. You can check it out. Now, this is showing you resources. This is wood. This is food. And this is gold. Now you can see here farm. These are the assets I just purchased, farms. So I have 2 of them. You can see that in my profile. And I have a sawmill. I have 1 of these. You can see that in my profile too, like from here. So these items I purchased, they're already showing up in the pre-game. As you can already see, this is my barn, my sawmill, my this. So let's play the game. Yeah, so this is it. So you can gather resources, proceed. Now we have gathered resources, you can upgrade the assets. So I can get resources here. This is our pre-game. Now you can gather wood, you can gather food or mine gold. Now to do this, for wood, you need a sawmill. You need to purchase the sawmill from the market. For food, you need farm. Farm produces food. While for gold, you need the gold mine. The gold mine produces gold. So you can gather wood here because I have a sawmill. So it's very easy. All I need to do is just start. So the thing starts the process of gathering wood. So it's counting down now. Once it's over, it gives me some more wood. So I can do that same process for my food, gather food. Now this shows you what the food is used for. It's used to increase hit points and damage points of the soldiers, making them to last longer in battles. So once you have food, it makes your soldier strong during battles. So once you start, it starts counting down. Yeah. So that's it basically. So the gathering food is in progress. After an hour, you come back, you see that you already have lots of food there.
Okay, so you actually have to you have to.
We have a lot of people playing this game too. All right. Let me just show you the leaderboards for those that have played the game and they have lots of assets already. So we can see the leaderboard here.
So the game took you about 9 months to develop, right, from start to finish. Now, how many people do you have in the team working on the game? Because surely it's not just you. I'm sure there's a lot of people involved.
Yeah, so there are a lot of people involved in this. We are close to about 10 on the team. We have graphics guys, we have the developers writing the scripts on Unity, we have the blockchain guys that make sure the payment system is okay, the data storage on the IPFS and all that is okay. So we have a whole lot of people doing different things. We also have the guys doing the graphics, the concepts. So we have a whole lot of people in the team.
And then what is your background? What were you doing before you developed this project?
Okay, so Ugasoft created Crypto Barons. Ugasoft is an IT consulting firm. Ugasoft creates enterprise resource planning applications for different companies. We've done this for a lot of companies in Nigeria and some outside Nigeria, which is our base. So last year, we started our blockchain division to research about the blockchain and create applications. So the first of such applications we created is Switch Wallet. So we created Switch Wallet. Switch Wallet is like a wallet now that stores Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, so this is one of our first applications. This is Switch Wallet. It holds wallets now. It does transactions from Bitcoin, Ethereum, it handles it. And then we have ThunderNet. It's like a database on the blockchain. So it uses IPFS. Now, what this does is that it stores transactions and the game data on ThunderNet, and it saves the hash on the Ethereum network. Now, this is what makes our game scalable, because we don't have to make calls to the Ethereum blockchain every time. So it just stores the hashes of our game data on the Ethereum network, which makes the game play faster. That's why you can actually use it across different places, buy assets easily. It all happens from here, the ThunderNet. So this is kind of applications we've created on the blockchain, you know, and we've created a few other applications for different companies. Then we tried to come up with the idea for the game, and it's been a very, very nice trip along the road creating this game.
So there is no danger that Crypto Barons will repeat what Crypto Kitties did last year to Ethereum when it clocked the blockchain and it literally, you know, headed for a standstill, I don't know, for a day.
Yeah, that's one of the problems some crypto games face when starting up. You know, CryptoKitties, a lot of interest in it now. A whole lot of data is being stored on the Ethereum network at once. You know, transactions, game data, and all that. But this is what ThunderNet is doing. ThunderNet is like the middleman. It's kind of like a database. So we don't need to store everything on Ethereum network. We store part of them on the IPFS, which is our own ThunderNet database. Then the hashes are being stored on the Ethereum network. So it wouldn't clog up the Ethereum network when we have million users playing this game.
Right. Well, yeah, this is also a game changer as well. I know that you have a partnership with Wax.io, isn't it?
Yeah, so we partner with Wax.io, and with the Wax.io, we are putting our assets there for users to be able to trade. Now, Wax has a new platform called the Wax Express Trade, which makes it easy for users to buy assets easily from Wax using either cryptocurrency or fiat, that's like MasterCard or your normal credit cards, you know. So our assets are going to be available on Wax for the exchange. It's very easy. That's our partnership with Wax. And Wax or Upskins is one of the largest markets for trading games. So they are on Twitter, you can check them out and you see their website. It's a very, very good partnership for us. And we're also looking for other partnerships too, because we want our games to go to different markets, exchanges, so that people can play it. Another good thing here I didn't mention earlier is that our Baron Coin ARC 20 token is an utility token. So we are looking to put it up on an exchange too. We're already in talks with some exchanges right now.
You mean you're going to be, you want to have it traded outside of your platform? Because currently people have to buy the token from your website, isn't it?
Yes, currently now. So, but we're now going to have to trade it on other platforms. You know, the Baron tokens have a fixed cap. You know, we minted these tokens and they have a fixed supply. So because of the fixed supply, it's going to make it gain value when a lot of users are trading these assets on.
What is the total cap on it?
Yeah, the total cap is 250 million BRN.
Okay. So as the game gains more popularity and more users, and they purchase more and more tokens, at some point, clearly the demand will be outgrowing the supply, and this is when the price should really start changing in the positive way. Right. Also, on top of that, you mentioned that in our pre-chat, you mentioned that you have an affiliate site. So when people bring friends to the game, they would receive a commission on tell me how it works.
Okay, so once you've created a profile on the on our Crypto Barons page, I could just show it to you. I'll just share my screen again.
Okay.
In your profile, once you registered in the game, now you will see that your referrals, you have a referral link. Okay, you can copy this referral link and share it with your friends. So once your friends register, they are your referrals. You can share your referral links with your friends. So let's try and do that. Let's see what happens when I paste my referral link here.
Okay, so this is when I click on your link, this is what I'm getting. It's sending me here. And I can register here. I can choose my username, password. I need to confirm my email, of course, and everything. I have a reference here. Is that the reference of the person who's sending me the link?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So this is how the program will know, how the game knows who is going to be, who is the person referring me. And when I'm making any purchases within the game, this person will be receiving a commission. What is the commission?
Yeah, we have a percentage on the transactions. For now, it's 50% on the transaction that your referral purchase. So if someone is buying a Baron coin worth of like 20 Barons, you'll be receiving like 10 Barons more.
Oh wow, this is quite a substantial commission, to be honest.
Yeah, it's quite high now, but you know, as it goes, it might reduce. So it's better you log in now and get or steal all this.
Yeah. It makes sense. It's usually it's people who are early into this that get the biggest benefits, because as you start getting more members, I'm sure you will have to reduce these commissions, because 50% commission is crazy. But it's great for those who are early.
Yeah. So it's part of the marketing cost actually.
Yes, it's to gain more popularity faster, of course. Which is a very good strategy. I mean, I'm familiar with affiliate marketing quite a lot, and I've seen quite a few businesses grow really fast because of affiliate marketing. One of the biggest examples is probably Binance, because Binance Exchange just a year ago was nothing, and today is the #1 exchange. Exactly, and it's because people were crazy to share their links and referral links and everything, and they wanted to get referrals, not only because of the commissions, of course, they wanted to share the actual platform and everything, but as you play the game and you're hooked and you like it, it makes sense that you will be sharing it with friends. Now here, on top of that, you even have the incentive of sharing it because you will make an extra commission, which is great. You also mentioned in our chat that you said games. So you mean this is not going to be the only game that you're doing?
no. It's not going to be the only game we created. This is the first one we are creating, and we have a whole lot of plans for this one and for other games we'll be creating. Like for this one, for example, once we release the first version, we'll be having updates to this game. We'll be making some improvements, you know, to the way the gameplay is. We also even have plans to put the game on VR, you know. Right now, we are making it cross-platform. I want you to be able to play the game across different places. I think I haven't yet done the demo on the web. I think I will do that so we see the gameplay. But we have other games in line too. We want to develop to make sure we have a whole lot of blockchain games. Now, why we chose this kind of strategy game is because we realized that games of this kind, you know, we have a whole lot of games. We have like Age of Empires, Clash of Clans, Dominations, and a whole lot, Rise of Civilizations, and a whole lot of them. I've played a whole lot of these games, and they have a lot of users playing these games. So we want these users to know about the blockchain. We want them to be able to play a game and interact with the blockchain, and we don't see any better bridge than building a kind of game they're already used to playing, giving it some very nice, interesting features, and let them play these games.
And now, before we finish, I want you to explain to us why was the need for using the blockchain to create the game? Why is the game on the blockchain? What is the difference between the traditional way to build a game and now utilizing blockchain?
There are a whole lot of reasons, but I will just give you a few reasons now. First of all, I've mentioned we have the ERC721 tokens for our assets. Now, this makes the game easily distributed, or assets. You can easily share your assets with your friends, and you have longevity of your assets. Now, it means that you can give the assets to someone else. Now, another thing that makes it easier is the trading. The game trading of assets. Once you trade in your assets, you can earn.
That's one of the things that you couldn't do before that. Like you had a lot of games that were using their own tokens, but you could only use these tokens within the game. Now we're talking about earning tokens and maybe taking them outside of the game, going to an exchange, selling them for a different currency.
Yeah, now here is another special feature of the blockchain. Now, we have reusability of the items. Now, let's say you purchase assets from our game. Now, you can use these assets you purchased on our game and play it in another game. Now, let's say, this makes it very, very interesting. Let's say you purchase an item on our game. Let's say you purchase a soldier, a farm, a rare item like a sword character. Now, in another crypto game, which is not necessarily our own game, you can import those assets you've already purchased from our own game into a crypto game.
Right.
It doesn't happen with normal without the blockchain. So it's what makes it very unique. And also, like we participated in the auto.io contest. We had to use their own crypto items from their challenge and use it in our own game, and it was working with our game. So this is something that happens just on the blockchain. You can't have it happen without the blockchain just like that. So it makes it very easy for us to talk to other games, you know. So these are very key features of the blockchain. And also what we did with the ThunderNet IPFS storing data on blockchain, you know, it wouldn't happen without the blockchain. So these are very key features that we've done with the game, and it will happen just with the blockchain. So the blockchain was very key for its development and was deliberate. We just need to show you the web games. It's just to give you an idea of what's coming.
All right, yes. Okay, let me...
Okay, so I'll log in. game is loaded up. Have this. Now we have the farm. Gold mines. Now we have the shop. The shop we can buy assets, we can build assets. Now here is the inventory. I don't have any of these, so let me purchase this from the market. So come back and pick and buy. Now we can buy with either Ethereum or Baron coins. Proceed, pay with it, pay with Baron. Proceed. This is where we do our payments with Ethereum or Baron coins inside the gameplay. So it's been mapped to my address. Now you see it here. We have one lumber camp now purchased.
Yeah.
Now we can build this. We have someone going there to build it. Yeah, this is gold. So I can collect gold. Then I have soldiers here. Can get more soldiers. I can train these soldiers for war. Now these are magic potions or special items that you can use for the game. These are special items. Okay, so we have, this is the laboratory. Yeah. So this is where spells are upgraded. Upgrading the lab unlocks new spells and increasing the hit points. So these are the spells I already have.
Okay. So that was just a little taster of what the game looks like, and you know, the interface and the different options. How do you you know, what can you do there? I mean, just a little taster. Of course, there's many things that we didn't get to see, but this is for you guys to explore. Exactly.
So it's been a wonderful time talking with you, OJ, and I really hope that everyone gets to try this game and enjoy this game.
It's cool. It's really cool, and I'm pretty sure that there will be many people who would be liking to give this a taste, a try. And also I think the fact that you're able to earn the coins that you are then able to go out of the game and you know, exchange them for other coins. This is also quite an incentive for many people, because they can actually earn a token that they can do something with. It's a real token rather than just a token that they can only use within the game. Also, another thing that I really liked that you mentioned is how you can transfer tokens. So when you earn certain levels or tokens, you can actually transfer to a friend of yours, and you can help them, or you know, your brother or something. Of course, why not? So these are features that I see as quite unique and quite a good selling point for me. So this is where I see the strength of this game. Again, the website is cryptobarons.io, and you can find the link below the video, so you can grab it straight from there. And we are looking forward to see what else is to come, because you did mention that there will be more games and more versions of the game as well. So I'm pretty sure that things will start getting even more exciting as you develop it further.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you, Chimo, for joining me today, and thanks for explaining everything, for giving us the taster of the game. Thank you for your time. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop in the comments below the video.
All right.
Okay, thank you, guys.
No.
Hi guys, I am Rook, and today I'm gonna talking about BitGuild ICO project. BitGuild is a decentralized gaming platform built on blockchain. The goal of the project is to solve several problems that hinder players and companies in the current video game industry. Usually, currency, items and accounts cannot be transferred between games. It means that if your favorite game becomes absolute, all progress is lost forever. On blockchain, players have the opportunity to trade and sell their personal items. Benefits of BitGuild. All games use blockchain technology and have a smart contract. They also accept the flat currency and have a special game items that the player can transfer between different games. Auctions. Virtual assets created on BitGuild platform can be bought and sold for flat at the auction. The auctions are decentralized and built using smart contracts. Honest payments. All players can easily buy various games and currency plat without any additional commissions and fraud. Gaming community. One of BitGuild's ideas is to create a huge community of players who will popularize the platform by playing games and selling items. Developer support. Any developer can create his own game using flat cryptocurrency. Your wallet. In the wallet from BitGuild, it will be possible to store not only currencies but also the items that you found. The project team. The team is very experienced, guys, in the game area. There are also good developers of block projects with a lot of successful projects behind them. The team is constantly expanding as the project develops. The list of advisors is very impressive, which indicates the seriousness of the project and the great prospects. More details about the project can be found on official website. The video is getting end, and I wanna add that BitGuild project is really prospects. The problem of game industry is actual, and I do believe that BitGuild will be one of the most powerful and promising company. Click the like button and subscribe to my channel for watching new videos. Thanks for watching, bye.
Dead Gene, blockchain games and decentralized gaming ecosystem. In this video, you will get to know about TEDchain project, its business model, and what problems TEDchain is aiming to solve. You are watching Coinfolio, your online guide through the world of cryptocurrencies and ICO. TEDchain is a P2P cryptocurrency gaming platform which uses TED coin as in-game currency. TEDchain is a distributed ledger technology. It is suited for organizations wishing to issue and manage digital assets in a robust, secure, and scalable way. The TEDchain platform includes a blockchain-based development workflow providing comprehensive blockchain solutions and services for players, content providers, channels, and advertisers, and facilitating a complete ecosystem. What problems TEDchain is aiming to solve? The Google App Store is not dedicated to games, but all applications for mobile phones, tablets, and PCs. The lack of dedicated app store for games means that game enthusiasts may not even know that there are quality and fun games to play. This is because the individual playing apps are treated the same way as the thousands of software. Secondly, the game developers often lack a platform that not only markets their creation but also serves as a point of sale center. This challenge has not only denied some good game developers recognition and rewards for their work, but also the gamers have been missing out on the entertainment aspect of high-quality games. Lastly, gaming peers rely on social media sites such as WeChat, Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, etc. to interact with one another. This has led to poor sharing of playing tips that may have contributed to slow uptake of the hobby in some world regions. TEDchain is aiming to prevent all these challenges by offering a blockchain of games that is global, variety-full, rewarding, gaming-specific, and interactive on the peer-to-peer standpoint. I think TEDchain is a games blockchain of the future. Why? Firstly, over 2 billion people play games on their smartphones. Most of these games are downloaded from Play Stores or Google Store. Secondly, the global games market is worth over 51.2 billion in Asia Pacific region, 27 billion in North America, 26 billion in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, and 4.4 billion in Latin America. TEDchain hopes to take advantage of the growing trend of industries shifting their operation to blockchain platforms. The huge market that is ever growing will be the bedrock of success. Additionally, TEDchain is using a gentle neural marketing approach to attract the female demographics. Let's check the business model of the TEDchain. Their business model is based on 3 pillars: development and distribution of own crypto games, publishing of games from third-party developers, and operation of the decentralized gaming and TED platform. Creation and distribution of TEDchain games. TEDchain has a team of game developers who are stationed in a strategic global points. The essence of the stationing is to give the various teams a local perspective of what type of games are considered trendy and therefore easy to market. These points are Asia Pacific, Europe, and North America. Additionally, it is an open secret that these regions are trendsetters in regards to the world tastes and preferences. Therefore, the TEDchain games will appeal to game enthusiasts, trigger on-platform activity, and eventually lead to the growth of the ecosystem. The soundness of the model is further enhanced by the fact that deployment of the game will be easy to straightforward as the TEDchain blockchain has a global coverage. Second, hosting third-party games. Some game developers have been relying on unscrupulous platforms to publish their games off the market. TEDchain is stepping in and offering a genuine medium of the game deployment. This act will proffer immense benefits to the game developers and their games will be available to the world. Third is decentralized platform of games. Like most of the other blockchain, TED-chain is a decentralized platform. This means that the main operations of the platform are not managed from a single point but from different points. This makes it hard for hackers and cyber criminals to infiltrate the system through a security breach. Additionally, the platform becomes independent from domination by a select few, as the individual actions of participants are independent of any control. The pillars of the model are strengthened by the fact that there is tokenization of the on-platform activities. This means that participants will have to own the TED coins in order to carry out the transaction. Firstly, the TED-chain blockchain will charge TED coins for advertising games from third-party publishers. The rate is expected to be unbeatable, fair, relevant, and worth it. This is because despite being cheap, the service will entail broadcasting the game on an international audience that is not only huge but also diverse, unique, and often appreciative of new game innovations. From the client's end, they will have to purchase TED coins to purchase the games from third-party publishers. These TED coins will be immediately deployed to the individual game developers' crypto wallets. Secondly, the TED-chain blockchain will be developing and deploying on games to the global community of gaming enthusiasts. These games will earn the blockchain and the selected parties that put their skills, competencies, experiences, and efforts into creating the games some token earnings. With more earnings and a continuous token flow, more games will be developed and the blockchain will have the largest collection of games in the world. Lastly, TED-chain developmental team has a vision of incorporating the as-port technology on the blockchain. This addition will be in line with the growing trend of gaming platforms to develop online competition for game enthusiasts. This aspect borrows heavily from the online casino concepts where players interact, engage, and compete with the winners getting awards. However, the main difference in this regard is that the competition will be purely for fun, peer-to-peer engagement and gaming experience as opposed to a monetary gain. Competitions will be tokenized by the incorporation of the TED coins. Why to choose TED-chain? Here we can see the competitive advantages of TED-chain. It's TED P2P network, TED blockchain, consensus protocol, securely communicate, voting system, and in-platform utility token. TED-chain will become the next Google Play App Store of the blockchain. TED-chain is a blockchain technology dedicated to allowing fast, easy, and cost-effective deployment of decentralized applications (DApps). By utilizing Node.js and incorporating consensus hosting, storage, and compute modules into a core technology, operate within a sandboxed Node runtime environment along with a custom-built decentralized application store, TED-chain is able to provide a complete solution for the entire dApp development cycle. Every decentralized application on the TED-chain network has its own uniquely customizable blockchain. The TED-chain Play Store is a portal for accessing all the decentralized applications currently running on the TED-chain network. Similar to the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, users are provided with a user interface that represents DApps in a categorized fashion, allowing DApps to be launched easily and immediately at the click of a button, while also providing an excellent user experience for anyone looking for make safe and easy transactions within seconds. TED-chain very own dApp store gives customers the same, if not superior, interface consumers have come to expect from existing centralized solutions currently dominating the market. Developers are able to publish their decentralized applications for consumptions onto the official TED-chain decentralized Play Store, giving consumers a familiar, if not superior, user experience they have come to export from existing centralized solutions currently dominating the market. We believe our dApp store has some huge advantages over existing implementations. It gives developers an easy to deploy and non-intrusive distribution method. Plus, consumers can find and use dApps in much the same manner they are accustomed to, while taking comfort in a knowledge that every dApp is backed by the probably secure TED blockchain. Besides technology, TEDchain also wants to grow their dApp developer base. Naturally, their product will stand or fall by the dApps available on the platform. So in order to give developers an incentive, they will launch a dApp development contest in 2018. The contest gives JavaScript developers a unique opportunity to showcase their talents and the potential of winning thousands of dollars worth of TED. The TEDchain blockchain is built to provide a gaming platform where game enthusiasts can benefit from existing games from both of the TEDchain team and third-party developers. The activities of each user will be monetized through assigning of TED tokens on a proof of work and proof of stake mechanism. The blockchain will be mobile friendly, hence relevant to the prevailing circumstances of most people. Currently, TEDchain is running their token sale. As we can see, there was ICO stage 1 on July 17, stage 2nd on July 24, stage 3rd on July 31st, 4th stage started on August 7 and it's running right now. You can get 18% bonus and the price of token right now is 2.5 cents. On 14th of August will start stage 5th and the price of token will be already 3 cents. So if you like the idea of TEDchain, you can join the token sale and get the 18% bonus. They are accepting Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash and fiat currency. Token sales started on July 17th and will end on October 8th. But every week the price of the token is increasing. The soft cap is $3.5 million and the hard cap is $21.5 million. The token price started from 1 cent and till the end of token sale it will be 6 cents. Here we can see the token allocation and operating allocation of the TEDchain. For more information about TEDchain, visit their official website tedchain.network. Also, you can learn more about their ecosystem by reading the white paper of the project. All necessary links you can find below in the video description. This is all for now. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, hit the like button, write your comments below, press subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Today I bring to you Crypto SpaceX, incredible platform, and I've been going amazingly well in the crypto space doing these videos and updates. Today I'm showing you something incredible, Crypto SpaceX, and this platform. Let's just dive in. So already you see when you go to cryptospacex.com, you see you can get your tokens now for the pre-sale. Yes, pre-sale is right now, and you can register here for a community airdrop. So you want to do that. I'll actually show you what it looks like. So let's go to register here. Click that thing you see this pop up. So you're going to put your email address, your MetaMask, Discord, and Twitter, and it'll generate invite link. So I'll actually leave my link for you below and get you in there. Now let's see about the other one. The other link is get your tokens now, pre-sale. This is what's happening. It says 2,998 tokens left. So you need a token to be on this platform. Now let me talk to you right now about what's going on. So there's only 4,000 tokens in this game. You need at least one to purchase a planet to play in this ecosystem of Crypto SpaceX. 4,000 coins, 4,000 tokens. It's unheard of. Let's go see more of what CryptoX has to store for all of us in this field. So as you see right now, the current price is 0.07 ethers for 1 coin. If you want 10, it's going to be 0.7 ethers. Let's see, guarantee purchase. I see. So you can add 0.001 ethers extra to guarantee your price. Total price, if you want 10 coins, if you want 1 coin, it's going to be 0.07 ethers. Click on buy now, and really what you want to use is MetaMask. That's the key to all of this, MetaMask. I don't know what happened. I got kicked out from MetaMask. So we're back now. So let's go back to Crypto SpaceX. But you want to use MetaMask to do all of your transactions for these games. Now let's go to the game doc. Or actually, this is the team. I'm gonna show you the team right away because I know how much you and I care about the team. You got Shubham right here. What's going on? This is one of the main people I've been talking to in Discord and Telegram, and I have to get my hands up and all around for the game development of Crypto SpaceX. It's very incredible, and I'm going to show you a little bit of the graphics. They have some amazing artists working with them, and yeah, as it says right here in the first sentence, show him this guy who picks up brilliant ideas from any conversation that he is a part of. There's no doubt in saying that this project is his brainchild. When he is not playing with ideas, he's traveling around the world looking for perspectives. Beautiful stuff. We have the development lead right here. When he's not coding, his brain's out. Design lead, nice. Now you know this has to be Star Wars, Star Trek influenced. Crypto SpaceX. You see episode 1 right here. You got the application lead, and you got the marketing and operations lead. Let's see, game development whiz, beautiful, beautiful. Blockchain and backend whiz, Solidity whiz. Yes, this is on the Ethereum network. Concept artist, hands up, hands all around for the concept artist. Truly, truly incredible things. He is in Brazil, and you're gonna see the artwork. Oh, did you see this? Get free tokens registered. Click that. I'm gonna leave you a link so you can get in here and get some tokens and everything you would like. So that is the team. Now let's go to the game itself. Now, let's see. This is the white paper. Yeah, this the game design document, or the white paper you can call it, Crypto SpaceX. And I'm not going to read word for word what's going on here, but here is a summary. Crypto SpaceX is a game centered around space exploration. Episode 1. I imagine more episodes. It's set around the mystical galaxy called Fabula. And its very element, Stardust. And Stardust is what you have to purchase. You have to have Stardust to play this game. Every planet owner is essentially a part of the rebellion. The rebellion is at a stage where it hasn't even started. Fight it out with other leaders to make a spot for yourself in this fantasy, strategic, and open universe game that would surely take you on the ride of your life. So very incredible backstory. As you see right there, you can get lost in this if you want, like the other games in crypto. So you got episode 1, you got Vegastar. Oh, we got some very great things to talk about with Vegastar and end goals. So I definitely want you to come over to Crypto SpaceX, have another look at the team and this white paper here. I'm showing you what is the game like. Well, let's see. It's a fusion of open universe and blockchain-based collectible games. Nice. Collect planets and starships, attack planets, and scavenge for stardust. Engage in several unique arenas in the Crypto SpaceX universe, like the Vegastar. And build and monetize your own mini games inside the universe. So you can do this. You can build and monetize your own stuff. Oh, this is major right here. This is really what just blows my mind. Build, monetize your own mini games inside the universe. You want your own smart contract? Come on over to SpaceX. So what makes this game different? It's a unique concept centered around the goal of building a virtual universe. Nice. The universe will be able to provide a platform for others to build games within it as well. Blockchain enables us to guarantee ownership, ERC 721, of assets to our users in the virtual world, removing control of any centralized authority. Nice. Okay, now I want to jump a little. Let's jump back to the page, and we're going to scroll down. See, as you see here, planet, you get one. If you have 1 or 4,000 coins, you get one of the 4,000 planets. So you can literally go in there, buy all the coins, and get all the planets if you're a big whale and you want to do that. If not, just grab a couple. You're gonna get to explore the planets, the starships. Get 3 random starships per token. Then you got the Vega Star Pass. Vega Star is definitely a unique and incredible thing they're adding. All access pass. And then look at this, revenue share. This is what makes the games even more fun. You share 30% revenue generated from the stars, from the 4,000 stars. Hold on. Do you know what I'm saying? You're going to get 30% revenue share. So go grab some Stardust right now. Push pause. I got the link below. Push pause, grab some Stardust, get in on its revenue share. You might as well. Let's continue to see what more goodies are out there. Rare assets. Stars, a 25% chance to get ownership of one of the 1,000 stars of Fabula. And then you got your Death Ray. The Death Ray is the most powerful starship of the universe. And you all know the Death Ray or Death Star. And it's only 20 such ships, which can be randomly allocated among token holders. Nice. All right, so now let me go back to Crypto SpaceX. And I want to show you more of, look at the artwork. Look at that. Build over 100 unique starships. Here's more of the artwork right here. Incredible. Let's jump to Eternity Hawk Bomber. Then you have the Cruise Wing Corvette. Nice. You got the Volker class cruiser. Looking good. You got the Rotenboss M1. And they got all the stats right here for you too. If you want to come and take a closer look. We got the game features right here. Virtual universe, planets and stars, and battles and tournaments. That's okay. This is getting even better. Listen. I'm telling you, games like this, you want to get in early. That is the best thing you can do in crypto. Let's be an early adopter on things like this. Here you go, episode 1, episode 2, telling you what's happening, ownership of assets, in-game player interactions, player versus player, space PvP, space combats, explore the entire universe in episode 2, and then open world 3D gaming, episode 2. Nice. Man, this is just fully detailed. The Stardust is actually ERC20, that's the tokens. And guess what? The stars are tokens as well, ERC721. Then you got your starships, what are ERC721. So that means you own them. Whatever address has a star or a starship, that address owns it. Only 4,000 planets maps are drawn by the resistance leader, Jean. Now you got your tournaments that's going to be coming up, and this is really what we want for the crypto. Let's see, pull it up for you. Crypto and Gamers League. So the Crypto Gamer League over here at cryptosandgamers.com, we want to bring amazing games like this where you can play, have fun, get residuals, get payouts, and just pour it back in or cash it out. Let me see. Let's go to live videos. I'm over here. Shout out to, I'm saying, oh, there we go. I got to click on it. Over here on Crypto Gamers Community, you got Capto Beat Miner. He's on Twitch. He's on Twitter. It's offline right now, but it's on there. Then you got Capo Savage. That's me right there. Bit Savage doing incredible things. And we're just Capto NK. Oh, you got a YouTube blogger in here. Nice, nice. So we're just over here creating a community, a gaming community to have fun and to do cool, as we tell you. You don't want to be in a crypto space holding your head down, feeling sad. You might as well play these games and get your payouts. More coming soon from the Cryptoverse and the Cryptos Gamers League. All right, let's go back to Crypto Space as you see the tournaments and the Vega Star. Now I want to show you, let's see, you got the Star Wheel, the casino, you got the racing arena, and guess what? I got some surprises about the Vega Star. I'm going to wait till more comes, but I can actually go over here to, let me see, where can we go to? Right here. So here goes some of the artwork. Now you have, let's load this image up. This is very, very intense virtual rendering. If you know anything about editing and virtual rendering, After Effects, and just creating things in the computer, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of talent and effort. And this team, man, they got a lot of it. And just look at the renderings and the graphics. Here goes the Vega Star. And I'm telling you, you do not want to miss out. These plots you can buy, you can program them, you can, so much to do. I'm so excited when I find things like this, I'm like, I'm ready to play right now. And, just gotta be patient until it comes. But what I will say is I'm glad I found out about it. So that's the Vega Star and some of the artwork. We have the white paper here. We got the Crypto Space League wanting to put this game in here. So when it goes live, we're going to be playing and showing you what's happening. But most important, right now, you got the pre-sale end date. It says June 22nd, but I would get you in. I would say get in right now. I'm going to leave that address below. Listen, do yourself a favor. Join the Discord too. You got Discord right here. You got how to buy right here. You got your gallery, game docs. Buy a couple of tokens and, test it out, see where it gets you. See, games like this, you can truly win big. All right, so I want you to like this video, share, subscribe. This is Bit Savage. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm going to leave my link below for Crypto SpaceX, doing some incredible things. And I love you all for tuning in and supporting, this crypto space, these crypto games. This is a beautiful crypto community. Shouts out to all the developers. Shouts out to all the artists, the artistic people, and the thinkers in the crypto space. Crypto SpaceX, you're doing something special, something unique, and let's build this community. All right, got more coming up. I will be back with more news to you. Peace.
A high-risk, underground movement has started a new economy free from corruption and manipulation. This new world uses cryptocurrency, a financial system based on secure, anonymous exchange and decentralization. This is where you are, at the center of your money, mining, trading, and storing digital coins. But where there is hope, there is hacking. How will you protect your fortune on the blockchain?
Hey everybody, it's Derek Funkhauser with the Board Game Spotlight. Welcome back to the table. Today Today we're going to take a look at Blockchain, a cryptocurrency game by Tyler Cheeves. Plays 2 to 4 players in about 30 to 60 minutes, and it's for ages 14 and up. So in Blockchain, players are playing as hackers or cryptocurrency gurus, and the object of the game is to move 10 of each cryptocurrency from your wallet down inside of your cold storage. There are 5 different. You have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, and Peercoin. Those are the cryptocurrencies that you will be using in the game. And so I want to show you a quick overview of a turn, how the game progresses, and what you can expect. So each player will get a player board that's very well laid out that allows players to follow the phase progression in the game. So at the beginning of your turn, you'll notice you can't play any hacks during this phase, but you'll draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. Then you can pay for any servers that you've played previously. Then during your action phase, you can choose any of these actions to take. And so you can deploy a server, chain a card, mine, trade, store, and play any hacks. And at the end of your turn, you need to discard back down to your maximum hand size of 5 cards. So let's talk about servers. Servers are very powerful cards that allow you to take various actions. So you can pay 4 of any coin to any opponent. That allows you to then take these icons you can draw and then chain. Chaining works by letting you play additional blocks. On your turn, you get to play a block. But if you have any chain effects, you get to play additional. So I could play this block, which is going to allow me to store 10 coins of my choice on my turn. But then I could play this block with my chain effect, which is then going to allow me to play an additional block. So I would choose this block, which gives me 2 trades and another 5 additional store. So on my turn, I now count up the icons, and I have 3 trade icons, and I have 2 store icons for 15. So on my turn, in any progression or any way that I want to choose to do so, I can make trades. So I could trade for another player. I could make a trade here, 5 of anything for 6 of the Peercoin, or 3 Ethereum for 5 of a type of currency, 3 to 2. You have to trade adjacent, so you can't trade across the board. So in this instance, I could use one of my trade actions to trade 3 Ethereum to my opponent, and let's say I took 5 of their Dash coin. I actually took too many earlier. So then I would take 5, and then I could choose to take a store action. So I would store these 5 into my cold storage, and then I could make another trade. I could trade 2 Bitcoin, so 2 to my opponent, to take 3 of their Ethereum. So take 3 here, and then I could choose my store 10 action, and I could store 3, 10, and have some excess. So the reason you might want to have excess is because the other player will need 10. There are only 10. Each player gets 10 of each. So if you have extra, that player is now going to need to trade for it. So you can kind of impose market saturation. You can kind of take all of one and then force them to make those trades for it because they're going to need it. Additionally, players at any time during the phase, you need to give them the option to play any hack cards they have. So you could choose a currency and then roll the die to change the value. So in this instance, if they didn't want the 2 to 3 trade, they could choose the Bitcoin, roll it, and they've changed it to 1 to 3. Unfortunately, that was not in their favor, but had they rolled a 6, it definitely would have been in their favor. So after you've done your chain, your mines, your trading, and your storing, you then, at the end of your turn, discard any played blocks. You leave any deployed servers for subsequent turns, and then I have 1 card left in my hand, which means on my next turn, I'll draw 4 cards up to my hand limit of 5. This player played their hack cards, so they, on their first turn, would need to draw a card, and then they would go ahead and progress the game. The game ends when a player, as I said, moves 10 from their top wallet down into their cold storage. And it's not as easy as it sounds, because there is a lot of changes that can happen. There are multiple different hacks that you can play. This allows you to choose 2 currency tiles and swap their values. This destroys a server on the board. You can discard your hand to draw 2 cards, prevent a player from moving up to 5 coins into their cold storage. So there's a lot of ways to mess with players' tableaus, and there's a lot of back and forth and shifting of the lead and everything like that. So if this sounds something up your alley, if you love cryptocurrency, you love a lot of player interaction, you like manipulating dice and changing values, then I definitely think you need to take a look at Blockchain, the cryptocurrency game. If that sounds like it's something for you, go ahead and check it out. It's on Kickstarter. This has been Derek Funkhauser with the Board Game Spotlight, and this has been your overview of Blockchain.
We all know blockchain is the future. But can we apply it to the past? Imagine a different time. A time when the world was governed by brute force and a lust for power. A time we now call the Dark Age. This is Blocklords. Blocklords is a game based on the Neo smart contract platform. You start by being given the choice of 3 randomized heroes. Each knight will be equipped with unique items. Choose carefully. The hero and items you select will be stored on the blockchain forever. Now it is time to begin your journey. Attack enemies you encounter along the way. Each victory will grant special, unique items. Head to the city market to buy and sell rare loot. Profit directly from your time spent playing. Each city will have a lord as its ruler. Lords will collect taxes from sales made within their walls and thus earn a passive income. But each lord must answer to his king and serve the nation. Kings have full control over a country's financial, diplomatic, and trade policies, but can be replaced at any time. Can you rise to the top of power and grab the crown? Wage wars against your neighbors. Forge alliances with friendly powers, or lead your people on a path towards peace. Do you have what it takes to lead your kingdom to victory? Guide your hero. Conquer your enemies. Become the ultimate lord. Blocklords.
Crypto Fighters. Crypto Fighters is a game centered around cryptographically unique collectible fighters on the Ethereum blockchain. Each fighter is unique. Weapons. Skin color. Clothes. Players can compose your team of different fighters, recruit new fighters by winning fights and buy and sell fighters on the marketplace. Fighters have 3 attributes which help them in battle. First, Strength STR. Second, Dexterity DX. Third, Luck LUK. Everything will be specific to your fighter. How to play this exciting game? First, use Chrome or Firefox as your browser. Second, install MetaMask. Third, you need to convert your currency into Ether to pay for crypto fighters. At last, Go to the marketplace and look at the crypto fighter for sale. It's time for you to start Crypto Fighters travel.